We're doing it live. Hey, welcome to Table Moments Live. Hi, I'm Ayman, host and captain of the Table Moments podcast, where we talk about anything and everything, but no politics. But we always seem to talk about politics on the live stream because of world conflict, which I don't think most people are informed enough to be giving opinions on. Wait, let's let it focus. Okay. Yeah. Most people aren't informed enough to give opinions on, but people get in their feelings about shit overseas for whatever reason. All right, we got the mic here. Audio's working. Video. I'm still working on the layout here. I know this last few weeks, this angle, but I think I got to work on the lighting. I've noticed something with Instagram specifically. Like, if you get the lighting right, your video will perform way better. It's crazy. How shallow people on Instagram really are. It's hilarious. It's just like, oh, you fucking fools. I knew it. Like, this is why I can't stand Instagram as a platform. Shallow people. Obviously, I can lean into it. I could definitely take advantage of it. If I cleaned up the beard, I could show off the body a little more. Not that I care to. Here's the thing. I don't want to lead with looks, And you might be thinking, you ain't much, bro. It's like, I think I could clean up really well. I know I can clean up really well. And it's just a matter of like, do I want to attract people that way? Now, if you ask most people, they'll be like, yeah, totally. What's wrong with that? That sounds great. Like, why not get all this attention because of how pretty you are? But I've never been that type of person, actually. I honestly don't care for it because she seems so shallow. I can appreciate beauty in everyone, right? That's what people say. But yeah. So, but yeah, basically videos are popping off on Instagram. Second time I've had one that is in the 6-figure view count. This one is about temperature. It's stupid. Celsius versus Fahrenheit. I thought it was a good explainer video, just explaining the differences and how 100 degrees Celsius is the same thing as 212 degrees Fahrenheit, or like 100 degrees Celsius and 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is human body temperature, are actually different scales, which is why the numbers seem so close, but doesn't necessarily mean that the human body is nearly boiling, And so I was explaining, like, this is units of measure, and in this case, this is, let's see, what focal length are we on right now? I wish I had like this is 35. That's kind of close though. Let's go 24. I think seems to work really well for me. But you see the phone in there a little bit, but whatever, it's fine. We'll make it work. Or maybe it's like it gives it ambiance, right? Oh, why is the flash on? That's weird. Okay, I know this is rough. I had a lot going on today, and woke up pretty late. I woke up early and then I went back to sleep. I don't know, sleep's been really fucking on me lately. But I have some topics prepared. So this one, videos I posted this week, temperature. I talk about the differences between Celsius and Fahrenheit, and that one's doing numbers on Instagram right now. Swear to God, like over 400,000 views right now. And no sign of slowing down. It might get to 1 million. But we crossed the 1,000 follower threshold literally today. Man, it's been 3 years of doing this podcast. It's taken a lot of different forms. This originally started off just as an audio-only podcast. Now I focus all my attention to social media. I think it's better use of my time, unfortunately, even though I really do favor audio podcasts personally, but people just don't listen to podcasts like that. You have to sort of promote the hell out of it if you want people to listen to it, in which case it's like, if I'm doing that already, I might as well just focus on the video part. And then on top of that, like, editing the audio stuff is a grind. It's a grind. It's like, man, and it causes me to procrastinate everything else that I have to do. Because it's like, oh man, I don't feel justified in working on anything else unless I get the audio editing done. And it's not just a simple like, oh, use an app or whatever. It's like, no. It needs a human touch. And I know everyone wants to take shortcuts these days. They're like, oh, they have this app and it'll cut it. It's like, yeah, I use Audacity to cut out the silences, but you still have to listen through it. You have to cut out the dead spots. You have to make it entertaining to listen to. yeah, there are topics that are boring. There's a lot of filler words that people use in conversation, including me. Like, I might not sound like it, but like if I were able to cut up these live streams, if I had the time to do it, they would be much easier viewing, much easier viewing. But can't do that. I don't have the time to actually go through the multiple hours of footage. And which is, I think it would be cool one day to have people who are like really, really into this stuff. And if they just sent me time codes, that'd be enough for me. And then I could just grab, but to actually have to watch it, that's the hard part. You have to scrub through it. And particularly with audio, the only way you can use an app like Descript to like transcribe it, but then you're gonna have to read pages and pages of stuff, and then you can control F and find some words. But in the end, you still have to go through the content. You have to scrub through it, and so like, and then I have to do 2 edits. It's a quality standard I set for myself. So first edit is a rough pass, and then the second edit is the final pass. So the steps is literally just remove the silences, then compress or basically level out the audio across the entire track, and then listen to it, and then see where there are dead spots, cut those out, cut topics that are boring out, cut where the conversation doesn't flow well, cut those out. And so literally I end up taking what we usually record an hour and a half. I cut that down to 45 minutes. So literally half of what we were talking about. It's a grind, man. It's a grind. Maybe one day I could hire it out. If it was, here's the thing, I'd have to find someone who really enjoys this stuff, enjoys the editing part. And the cool thing is, like, when someone else is editing it, it's easier to do because it'll be fresh for them. It'll be the first time they're hearing it. For me, I was in the conversation and then I listened to it twice for the first pass of the edit, then the second edit, the final edit, and then I listened to it after for quality control. And so it's a grind, man. I listened to every episode 4 times minimum, just to get one of these audio. And so you can understand, like, this is like hours and hours and hours of work for a podcast, for an podcast episode that no one's going to listen to unless I promote the shit out of it. And so it's just like, I can get way more views just doing one of these like 1-minute videos. And get more engagement, grow the audience, and just doing one of these 1-minute videos. Now, I do put effort in these videos. I write scripts now, or I find things where I know I can give deep insight, and I try that and do a stitch or something. But like, those are working, and it's actually helping me prepare for much longer form video on YouTube, which I know it's been a while since I posted. But I've been thinking about, like, what kind of content could I post that I want to make that has the potential to have a large audience, that has broad appeal. And so it's like finding this overlap is hard. I come up with ideas, I write them down, but I haven't executed on any of them yet. But coming soon, coming soon. I always say that, but I mean, come on, man. I'm working on a lot of other stuff, which I guess I should focus. But hey, figuring out life as I go, building the ship while we're flying. That's essentially what I'm doing. And it is what it is. But let's invite the people on TikTok Live, because there's always people there. Let's see. Cool. Let's adjust this a little bit. And then we got the mic here. Wonder, is that better? Yeah, it's off screen. Cool. All right. All right. I don't know if I have it today, but I'll try. Maybe I gotta like brighten the thing. Is that what I gotta do? No, it's kind of orange. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the orange stuff. Like, maybe I gotta up the sensitivity here. 1 second, guys. Let's see. I know I fucking hate doing this live, but it is what it is. Do I want to drop it? Probably want to drop it. Yeah, give it a vibe. Late night. That's too bright. Let's see the white belt. It's still peaking a little bit. Let's do that. Nah, let's go there. There we go. All right. Let's see if I can get the light better here. Or if I can put the light on. It is on. I don't know. I still got to work on the lighting setup or whatever. Looks better on YouTube, though. Looks way better. Let's go live, though. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Moments Live. I'm your host and Captain Ayman. This is the Homies podcast where we talk about anything and everything. Try to stay away from politics. Please don't throw flags in here because unless it's, I don't know. I honestly, I haven't been keeping up with the news and I don't care to. No one needs to see misery every day they open up social media, you know? That's why I like even some of the topics. I'm just like, here's the thing. A lot of creators, they find their niche, right? One thing they talk about, and that's what they're known for. But I think it's a trap. I think it's a trap. A lot of people, they're like, you want to express other parts of your personality. Everyone is like a multifaceted individual, right? But when this social media game, you kind of trap yourself because you can only talk about one thing, which sucks. At least sucks for the people who find themselves in that situation. For me, like if you look at the page, we're all over the place. So, hey Kimberly, how's it going? And it's weird. Sometimes social media can make me angry, dude. Not angry, just passionately mean. Passionately mean, I think is what happens when I read some of the comments in some of these videos. Some people, bro, are hard to be polite to, man. Hey Jose, how's it going? I'm running into a lot of people. Here's the thing: when you make content that's somewhat directed at women, not in a negative way either, in a positive way. I mentioned it in the video. These lenses, the lens of trauma that a lot of these women carry, they just project it everywhere. It's crazy, man. It's just like, why'd you leave a comment? I don't know. Ladies, it is what it is. How's everyone doing? Hey Gigi, what's up? Oh, pronounced gig? Is that how you say it? ENTPINFJ. How could you be both? Okay, there's some dark stuff in your description, so I'm not gonna say it, but okay. What's up, everyone? Did you change your picture? I don't remember, but if you were here before, nice to see you here again. You love me? Okay. Appreciate it. I'm not sure why, but okay. Were you one of the people leaving comments in one of these videos that I possibly triggered? Here's the thing. I look safe, guys. I look safe, but I'm kind of an edgy dude. And it's funny. It's funny when people leave comments. I've been seeing a lot of that lately. Just people leaving comments like, "Oh my God, well, it's not a lot. It's just a small handful of people, but those are the ones you remember because they're negative." And there's something to be said about that. Like the most negative comments are the things that you remember the most because they're the ones that have most. Like like even this great comment. Just, oh, all right, you love me, cool, but is what it is. I got a Quran today and a prayer rug. Good for you, Kiki. Are you Muslim or you just converted? So, like, how's everyone doing though? I have a few topics prepared. Oh, learning. Okay. Prayer rug. Yeah, I remember those. You got a Quran though? It's funny because like I've been messing around with the Bible lately and learning about Jesus. Weirdly enough, this is not going to be one of those like Bible thumping streams. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, turns out Jesus was a revolutionary. I had no idea. The way they describe him in church is like this soft character who's like loving and accepting of everyone. But Jesus the man was a revolutionary, and it's kind of badass. Not gonna lie, the guy fought the man. He really did. He fought the Romans, and he suffered for it. Yeah, I used to be Muslim. You are Muslim, Adam? Okay. Allahu Akbar. Okay. Well, I am Christian, but I never experienced anything in being Christian. Really? Okay. I see the Islam and their faith, and it's just different. It is different. It is different. It's a different vibe for sure. You know what's funny? Islam, there are rules about like mating and stuff. And as far as Muslims are concerned, a Muslim man can get married to a Christian woman, although the reverse isn't true. I don't know why, but it's like they're all religions of the book, as at least that's how it was taught to me. So it's like Jews, Christians, and Muslims all basically come from the same religion or the same source. So they're all basically somewhat the same. But it's weird how there can be so much conflict within those two. But yeah, I've been. Jesus is a pretty cool guy. Now, if what's about it, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like when I say I used to be Muslim, it's like I don't practice, which is why I don't like calling myself Muslim. Like and I've been really, really getting into Christianity lately. I just like the idea behind it. But I'm probably gonna have to look more into I'm not a Christian page. I'm not a Christian page. No. I'm not fit to. Here's the thing, like I have some strong opinions. I've been to a few churches, and I honestly I can understand why people have left the faith. I get it. I get it, because like, man, churches have really dropped the ball. Which is the one thing I could say about Islam. They got it. They got every mosque I've ever been to, every masjid I've been to, like they're serious about the religion and they're uncompromising about it too. Whereas a lot of churches, like you'd be like, what is the fuck? What the fuck does this have to do with Jesus's teachings? And it's just like they're going all off in all these different directions. You're just like, oh, okay, Christians lost their way, or at least a lot of churches lost their way. But I'm not a Christian page. Is there evidence God is real? I don't know. I mean, you can have conversations with people. They'll cite things as if it's evidence, but in reality, it's supposed to be faith, right? Without evidence, you believe in this stuff. And so, like, I don't know, arguments like that just seem so meaningless to me. Hey, Brooklyn, nice to see you here again. Man, I don't know why my nose starts running as soon as I join live. Every time. I was saying Christian is very selective. There's so many different Christians, yeah. But Islam is one. Well, no, there's different versions of Islam too. Obviously, you have the major ones, Sunnis and Shiites, and there's all these different ways of practicing too, where certain parts of it you'll believe, other people consider other things invalid. Like for me, the hadith never made any sense to me. But then I started looking into Christianity, and I'm like, okay, so the New Testament's all just testimony after Jesus. So after Jesus the man. So I guess everything is just like not directly the word of God, at least large portions of it. Where am I from? I'm from California. I live in Texas now, though. For sure. Church is ran by people. The ball will always drop. It's about your relationship with God. Yeah, I agree. But I can also understand like why people have left these institutions that are supposed to maintain the faith in their people, right? So I get it. Interesting take. Yeah, I try. Do you believe in Santa? Sometimes, when he brings cookies. Some people call me Santa because I can make really good chocolate chip cookies. Yo, that's a weird, no, I'm not going to get into that. That's definitely going to get the live banned. Never mind. We have the intellectual proofs, though. No, you don't. Like people like to believe like there's proof that God exists. The whole point is faith, man. You're supposed to believe it without evidence. I don't know. It's just crazy that people, because y'all have the same body type. Yeah, maybe did Santa have broad shoulders? I believe in God and hell, but not heaven. Really interesting. That's kind of sad. There's no upside. Come on, there's got to be an upside. Am I married? No, I'm engaged. Soon to be, I guess. See, what confuses me, like, how are we for sure there's even an afterlife? You're not. Like, that's the point. All of this is just faith. And that's the point. Like, if you had proof, then here's the thing. I heard a podcast where there's basically the central idea behind it was free will. You need to have the choice to believe what you want to believe. And if you knew with certainty that certain things existed, like afterlife, hell, heaven, then you're going to be punished one way or the other. You're going to be either be punished or rewarded. And if you know the results of your actions, then do you really have a choice? Do Do you have a choice if you know exactly what's going to happen? And so, like, in order for free will to be a part of this equation, it requires not having the evidence to be sure that either that it exists. Have you read the Bible? It helps if you don't go to a mega church. I've been reading excerpts every now and then. The Bible. Yeah. And mega churches. Here's the thing. I haven't been to I don't know. I think I've been to a wannabe mega church, and they have big plans of like building bigger. And it's just like, I don't know. I have this like radar of bullshit. I can tell when someone's bullshitting me, or at least I feel like I can. And I run into these pastors, and it's like, cap. It's just like, but I'm brought by someone who really loves that church. So I'm just like, come on, I don't trust this motherfucker. He's really gonna pretend. I don't know. When they tell you nothing but feel good bullshit, I question it immediately. I'm just like, all right, you're not telling anyone that this is supposed to be harder for you, being Christian, being religious at all, following a certain set of rules that the rest aren't following. You don't think that means you're gonna have a harder life? And so when they're not telling you that, that's when my radar, my bullshit detector goes off, and I'm just like, I don't buy this. Which is the one thing I really appreciate about like a lot of the imams and stuff. It's all about like, one of the things they always taught and they preach is that like, it's not all just feel good bullshit, whatever. Rarely, honestly, every time I've ever been to Juma and they're doing the khutbah or whatever, and I'm listening to it, I always like those because it's like they're teaching you lessons in a way of life that is harder, but with purpose, But it is what it is. Let me catch up with comments though. Oh shit. Respectfully, if we can say with certainty that these are the books of God or speech of God, then we must. You get me? It's like tossing a coin. I don't know. I mean, if it's faith, something you truly believe, then it's just certainty, but nothing you can rationally prove. Yes, I'm also learning Islam right now, so just trying to decide which way I want to put effort in, I guess, and have Iman. Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about the hijab? Are you going to be participating in that? Have you read the Quran? She got one yesterday. Okay, free pals, of course. Real quick, did you just confess to your engagement before actually doing it yet? What do you mean? No, it's done. What do you mean? It's actually done. So I'm not confessing to anything. No, I mean, which version, sister? Read the Beatitudes in the book of Matthew. I'll write that down. Beatitudes. Is that how? Beatitudes. Proverbs are hit hard though, not gonna lie. Imams often seem angry. Pastors like Joel Osteen are more positive. I don't care for the positive message though. Like that's the thing. Like when it's all just like, oh, we feel great and God loves you and all that. I'm just like, this isn't guiding any way on how to live your life in this world. Okay. This is all just like cope. That's what it feels like to me whenever I've been to these churches where all they preach is positivity. It's like, oh yeah, this is meant to be, this is your destiny, blah, blah, blah. So like, all right, come on, bro. It's like, it's just whatever. Hey, Jose, what's popping? Not much. Just started. How's the skin lightening lotion process coming along? Yeah. Man, here's the thing. I could do it in post. So I thought about this. I actually discussed this with my brother. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could experiment, like record videos for social media and then lighten my skin, make copies of it and lighten my skin and see the process, how much better. And so I can compare and make a whole YouTube video about showing how bad colorism is on social media. But it's true. I'm noticing patterns here and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of made me disappointed in humanity in general doing this social media shit. Not gonna lie. People are really disappointing and people are stupider than you think. It's wild, bro. Especially on Instagram. People there, like, I can't say the word, but Can I give you a book suggestion, brother? Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Toxic Positivity. Oh my God. That's a perfect description, Nikki. Oh my God. I'm going to steal that one if you don't mind. Toxic Positivity. That's a great hook too. Toxic Positivity. Oh man. Why I thought you as a doctor. I was about to ask you some medical questions. Why do people think I look like a doctor? What the fuck? You know, a lot of people have said that. So I was thinking maybe I should go to like a medical supply company who sells like lab coats and scrubs and stuff like that and just model for them. And then I just like make a whole YouTube video of like I became a model because everyone thinks I'm a doctor. So whatever. I think that'd be hilarious. uh, Also, there's a book named How to Study the Bible. Okay, How to Study the Bible. I've been listening to Reza Aslan, some of his podcasts and YouTube videos about his description of Jesus the man, and really, I'm really fucking with the idea of Jesus as a revolutionary. I think if that message of Jesus was taught to people, or at least men particularly, you'd see more men in the church. But you know, it's toxic positivity these days, so it is what it is. Hey man, what's the most effective way to get a date, make friends, to introduce me, or cold approach? I actually posted a video where if you're looking for a wholesome girl who's into crafting and stuff like that, you can find them in a lot of like craft stores like Joann Fabrics, Michaels, all that stuff. Online dating's worked well for me. You just have to find a script that works well for you. And then your profile has to be intriguing, interesting, and funny. Don't take the questions and the prompts seriously. Just have fun with it and take good pictures. And online dating is an easy way to just meet girls if that's what you're trying to do. As far as make friends, there's always like meetups you could do. Another hack, if you live in like a downtown area and you struggle to like approach people, what you could do with you and maybe a friend or two, if you have them, go out in the streets with a camera and a microphone and just pretend like you're interviewing people, and people will come up to you, especially if you have like a light that's bright. People will come up to you, and then or have one of your friends pretend to be someone who's come up to you and give them an interview, because that's social proof, because it legitimizes you when you're interviewing somebody else, and other people will come up and be like, yo, what's up? Are you guys got on YouTube, whatever? And people crave fame, man. And this is the easy way. I swear to God, we've done this so many times on the streets here in Austin. So try that too. But yeah, the Divine Reality Hamza. I don't. Oh, that's the book. The Divine Reality. Hamza. Okay. Wait, I wasn't talking about you. Oh, okay. I had luck with. Y'all had luck with online dating. I've had luck. Might be harder for women though. I honestly don't know on your end what it's like, but for me, it hasn't been a problem for me. It's actually been fruitful for me, if you know what I mean. You know, you're wrong for what you did. What did I do? Kind of different in its approach, but if you desire to have a relationship with Christ, it will be different. Okay. What kind of Christian? Reza Aslan taught at my university. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's funny. His journey, he came from a Muslim family, then went to like some youth camp, Christian youth camp or whatever, became Christian. And then he went back to Islam, which you don't see a lot of people do that, where they convert and then go back to the one that they were raised on. But I guess his family wasn't like, you know, those serious devout type of Muslims, more like culturally Muslim. But the way he described religion is like religion is just a way to find your connection to God, right? And so it doesn't matter what connection you use as long as you find that. And so that's his approach. Can I link with you in Austin? Yeah, DM me, man. If you're in Austin, sure. To the moments you seem really sincere in your search. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to push anyone in any direction, and I've been trying to understand why I do what I do. And in reading the story of Jesus and his teachings have sort of aligned with the life path I've been taking, which is why I've been doing more and more research in that direction. But I think it's worthy just to explore these different types, because a lot of us, you know, we're born into certain religions because of our family. And to me, it's like, here's what I noticed about growing up Muslim, and the people who grew up Muslim versus the people who converted to Islam. Like, I noticed the people who took the religion far more seriously and were more devout were the people who converted into it, because they made the choice. It's not something they were born into. And I've always respected that. I'm like, okay. And so possibly maybe I could be that, have that same sort of experience and connection. And that requires effort, which I think for a lot of people, when you grow up in a certain religion, you don't really consider why this one. It's just by default. So yes, it's raggedly with online dating. Is it really? Well, what kind of things are you running into, Nikki? Any issues? Are you running into bad people? Is that what's happening? No one is born in their faith. You will have doubts and you will have to look for yourself. Yeah. I wasn't born Christian and neither were my parents. Oh, okay. Yeah. So there is only initial goodness in the fitra, as we say. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Like, yes, running into bad people. Okay. Well, here's the thing. On the female end for online dating, you're making the selection, right? Men, we're doing the selling. We're selling ourselves. We're the ones who have to be good at closing too. So if you're running into bad people, I don't know, are all your choices bad? Or is it just the guys you seem to agree to go out on a date with are kind of off, So, and have you considered initiating, like you choosing the date, like offering the date too? Which I know, ladies, I know you do not want to do it. And I get it. It's like, why should I be the one? I know. But for like some of the good guys, the wholesome guys, the ones who are going to be loyal and all that stuff, they kind of don't know the game yet. Okay. Or they haven't put effort into learning. So you might have to be the one to and I know that's part of the chase and it's sort of a turnoff that you have to be the one who does it. But at least in the short term, I get it. But I mean, think longer term. And the guy can become that guy who gives you all the tingles and everything. He just needs to know. And here's a funny thing. A smart girl, a really, really smart, I don't know. I've never witnessed this happen in my fucking life. But a girl who's like, I can turn that guy into the guy that gives me the tingles. Said no woman ever. But I think a genius woman could pull that off. You just got to find the right canvas. And he has to be willing. But, it is what it is. Whatever. The Oxford Anthropological Society did a study with Justin Barrett, and he mentioned the Islamic fitra by name. Okay. I love your synthetic wig. Where'd you get it? Marshall's. We do not believe in initial sin. There is only initial goodness. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Muslims believe in Adam and Eve and all that. And the whole falling of Adam and all that. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. But pretty sure that's what it was. Can you talk about something else besides dating? Yeah. What else do you guys want to talk about? So I was thinking about these traditional gender roles. I thought about advancing first. Yeah. Go ahead. No guy is going to turn you down because, well, I mean, maybe there is some one out of 100 or something. But if you're you seem cool, we should go get a cup of tea at Starbucks. He'll probably say yeah. Choose a daytime place, make it convenient for you since you're leading. And yeah, that could get you. And then that's what it might take. Because if you're waiting for a good guy to set the date with you, he probably doesn't have the game yet, so you cannot change anyone into what you want them to be. No, but you can help them change into something they want to be if there's something they want to be. But yeah, I agree with you. Yes, the creation story is different completely. Women do not get punished. As the Quran states, no soul has to bear the sins of another. Okay. Well, in Christianity, Jesus bears the consequences for our sins. So I guess that's how that goes. But I don't know. I'm still new in this thing. So please correct me, anybody, if I'm getting the story wrong. But I don't know, something about that whole like um, initial sin thing. Like we're all sinners and we're all just trying to live above that is somewhat appealing to me. I don't know why. This idea. There's also like Nabil Qureshi, this guy who was a former Muslim who became Christian. I've been listening to a lot of his talks lately too about Christianity and Islam and all that stuff. And he used to be hella devout Muslim, and he met someone who became a dear friend of his who was Christian, and they would have constant debates back and forth about like, here's the validity of Islam, here's the validity of Christianity. And because he was such a devout Muslim, he's like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to disprove Christianity to you, right? And so he goes off in this research journey, like finding all these like inconsistencies and details about Christianity and all that, and basically prove to his friend like there's about 20% of Christianity that's false and 80% true or something like that. So clearly it's wrong. And then his friend challenged him. Is like, okay, so, well, why would that mean you wouldn't become a Christian because you just found like 80% of it to be true? Have you done the same for Islam as well? And then he went and did it. And then that was a whole fucking process for him. And then he came to the conclusion that he had to convert to Christianity. It's a tough story too, because he was basically disowned by his family. It's rough. Can we talk about books? This book, Erasure by Percival Everett, is a new film that comes out in December. Yeah, I'm actually reading a book right now, Anti-Fragile, Nassim Taleb. But Erasure, I'm going to write that down. Erasure. Percival Everett. Percival's a cool name. God forgiveness doesn't need a human sacrifice. You ask for forgiveness and he will forgive. Humans have initial goodness. Okay. Admit disapprove of all of them. Okay. It highlights how Black writers can only be successful when they write a hood narrative and trauma. Really? Is that true? Let's think about it. Is there a movie where can only be successful when they write a hood narrative and trauma? That actually might be true. Fuck. Oh man. Oh. Here's the thing. I discovered this store called Half Price Books, and on the clearance section, there was this book where they were talking about for Black artists, musicians to do well, at least commercially successful, they have to talk about this kind of stuff too. It's oh man, that sucks. Interesting, but very insightful. And the academics, wait, let me see. And in the academic discourse, we know it's false, and nowhere near Jesus' living time in scripture is falsified. Yeah, but you start noticing like New Testament probably for sure, but the Old Testament stuff is like historical fact nearly because of the Romans. The Romans were such great documentarians, like written stuff. Muslims don't believe Jesus was crucified, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they believe. So, but that's like historical fact. Jesus was crucified. Or maybe they don't believe he was resurrected. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whatever. You look Ethiopian. You look like a well-fed Ethiopian. Yeah, I know I do. It's funny. If I ever went to Ethiopia, I would be like the Hulk around everybody. Yeah, it'd be wild. People would just be staring at me like, who is this freak of nature? Yes, I've read it years ago in college. It's hilarious. I'm going to read it. Okay. Here's the thing. Let's talk about stuff that's actually interesting. God isn't interesting to you, Jose? Yes, TikTok is the same way for Black people too. Is it? Like Black TikTok? That's a whole lane. I'm not in Black TikTok, but I see people do really well. Really well. Or at least when it stumbles on my feed, I usually just swipe out. I'm not trying to get caught in this like Black TikTok drama. Those Black Twitter, I don't want to get involved in any of that. Nor do I find it that interesting. I mean, like really, it's usually about like pop culture, drama, and relationships probably. I don't know. No, it isn't chronicles, but align with the biblical narrative at all. The Quran aligns perfectly, matter of fact. Okay. The Orientalist opinion aligned perfectly with Islamic sources. Okay. I mean, all right. Yeah, I remember one of the things that I was taught growing up as a Muslim was like, you know, the Quran is the one book that hasn't been changed over time. But then now that I get older, I'm like, is that a good thing? you know, Black TikTok makes me think about dispelling every myth about racism, relationships, and celebrities. really? I don't know. Maybe I should just explore Black TikTok, like um, every myth. Like, yeah, I don't know. Shout out to all my Muslims. I know Jose spelled it wrong on purpose, guys. He spelled it wrong on purpose. Here's the funny thing, in movies and TV shows, anytime they're trying to portray, whenever they're looking for a character to play a Muslim, they usually hire someone Hispanic because they look very similar. I think they geographically fall in the same latitude, so they sort of have the same complexion as well. So you notice, like, they're all Hispanics who who play Muslims on TV and stuff. I read the Quran when I was younger. I don't think it's that accurate. Of course I did. Yeah, of course you did, bro. I've heard people say being a good Muslim is being a good Christian. I don't know. I've never heard that one. Wow, this man's stereotyping us. No, I'm typecasting you. You guys play Muslims really well. You look the part, but then Hollywood. Because I no, I'm not gonna get into that. No, it's gonna get the stream banned. But like, let's say Hollywood has. No, I'm not gonna do it. Never mind. Oh man, see, this is why I fucking hate these platforms, man. I want to go hard and raw. Pause. But still. Have you ever seen the indie film Muslim? No, I haven't. Is that the parody one? I think I've seen some clips of that. I have to look that up again. I think it was pretty hilarious if I remember correctly. In 1400, no one could refute. Now you can. I'm not sure. Say it, Hollywood. Star. That was a good film. In the academia, people unknowingly praise it and prove the validity. Okay. Have you ever seen Soul Food, the TV show? I didn't know it was a TV show. I think I remember watching the movie. Here's the thing: these black centered films, I don't fuck with it at all. Like Jose, I actually watched that movie that you recommended, the one with the long ass title. Dude, not gonna lie, I skipped a lot of it. Here's the thing: whenever I watch like a movie or TV show, all the empty scenes where they aren't moving the plot forward, I just hit that forward button. And I had to do that a lot with that movie, man. It's not that funny, bro. But I can see why you found it funny. It seems like your sense of humor and your maturity level for sure. Like the Orientalists and stuff. Okay. The star was a reference for my beautiful Jewish folks. Well, I mean, you're missing a point. It's not. That's a Super Mario star, not that star. But okay. Me neither. But your ass look like Boris Kojo. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've gotten that before. What? You skipped a lot? Yeah, I skipped a lot. It wasn't that funny, bro. It was just stupid. It was just really, really dumb. Really, really dumb comedy. And I can't get behind. I don't know. I just don't find it that interesting. I need something a little more intellectually stimulating, bro. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though. Hilarious at the time. Yeah, I can see that. When you're younger, I can definitely see younger people really enjoying that movie. The history of it, I've read it as a child and for school, and I've read other religious texts. Still funny. Okay. Tell me, give me reference and proof. All right. Did you laugh at any of it? No, I didn't laugh at any of it, unfortunately. What's a classic funny movie to you? I can't say. Let me think about that one. I don't know. Uh Hangover's funny. Hangover's funny because they pushed the here's the thing, they could not film Hangover now just because of the language that they used. There's some parts that are just a little too stupid, but that's pretty funny. I'm not sure, but I have to think about it some more. What's a classic? Do you think Jewish people stole Black history? I don't know. I would, that idea has never crossed my head. So, but if you have a point to make, I'd be open to hearing it somehow. Like, yeah, the Quran corrects the Egypt Moses story and aligns perfectly with historical sources. Okay, what a surprise! Before the finding of the Rosetta Stone. Okay, that was a funny movie. That was a funny movie. I mean, that's the thing. As I get older, the stupid funny doesn't work on me anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, this is just cringe for me. You know, like here's the thing. One of a movie a lot of people think is funny. I remember going to the movie theater with friends and everything. We watched Borat, and all my friends were laughing their asses off the whole time, like ha 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 ha. And I was just like, this is so fucking stupid. Like it was so stupid. I didn't laugh at any of it. And then it's just like, if I don't know, man, Borat is hella dumb. I don't understand why people like it. And here's the thing: as I gotten older, I don't even enjoy comedy I used to enjoy. Like I need smart comedy now. Like that's why I can still appreciate Dave Chappelle. But like I went to a Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, uh, comedy special, whatever. They were co-host, whatever. It was both of them were in the show, and Chris Rock, not really that funny, man. He's not that funny. Like he's funny to the average person for sure. And I was just there, just observing the whole show. I'm like, wow, people really enjoy this shit, huh? And then the Dave Chappelle stuff, because it's like a long narrative that gets you thinking, and it also makes a point, which is why I enjoy his stuff far more. But then, even then, he's a little with the politics stuff. That was a funny movie. I'm not going through all of it. Okay. Who are you standing behind, Jewish folks or Palestinians? Neither, bro. Neither. Read it sincerely with an open heart. Okay. Yes, the stupid funny is not funny now. Yeah. I don't know. It might just be age. I got the gray hairs coming in already. And it's just like, maybe it's just Borat is not funny. He's funny to a lot of people, to a majority of the population. That's the funny thing. Like when you crave a certain level of entertainment, yo, understand you are different from the average person. And this is also true for social media. The fact that you guys are here watching this versus all the other people who watch the NPCs, who watch the battles, who watch the people dancing because of Trump and Biden bullshit, or debating stupid topics that everyone already has strong opinions on. So it's like you're not moving the ball forward in any direction. Or the fucking weak ass dating shows here on TikTok where they're like inviting people because they can't come up with original content themselves. That's most people. That's most people. You are different for being here. You are different. And I think accidentally what we're actually pulling off here is gathering all these people who crave something more than just stupidity. Except for Jose. He likes the stupidity. Not funny at all. Yeah. You haven't read to understand. May God bless you. I did sincerely, but I found errors. Okay. When did you become Muslim? Are you talking to me or I'm not Muslim? I can give you references and evidence. I did outside of university. Okay. So yeah, this is TikTok, not discourse. Yeah, I think maybe you're talking. I think Teddy might be talking to you. But yeah, we are different, guys. We are different. We are outnumbered by stupidity, and that's what I'm realizing. Like this whole social media shit, with all this practice I've been putting in every day, posting videos and stuff, I've realized the way these algorithms work. They test your content with a small group of people that they think might be a good match. But the problem is, the small group of people are have a high likelihood of being people who, if you do anything interesting or edgy or very niche, the initial cohort of people they test it with are unlikely to be people who fuck with your content, which is why you don't get views in the beginning, which is why it's a grind all the time, because it's like it's just testing. It doesn't even know the type of people you attract. And I think even these algorithms still struggle to find out what like the table moments audience, what does that look like? It's like, I don't think you could put us into a fucking box. You can't we're all over the place. We're all over the place. And that's what I like about this free thought. We can talk about anything and everything. So That's what we're doing. That's a good selling point. We are different. We are different, dude. Factually, dude. I'm having my video. Remember, you made a comment about the. So I posted a video about temperature. I also posted. You said something about like the science talk stuff, right? I might get categorized in there. Well, I posted a video talking about the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius temperature scales and stuff like that. How 100 degrees Celsius versus 98 degrees Fahrenheit, and how whatever. I could explain it all if you guys want me to, but that video is doing fucking numbers on Instagram. It's over 400,000 views right now. And I'm just like, yo, you read the comments of that video? People are fucking stupid, man. They are so stupid. Like, they're getting heated about temperature scale. That's what it, bro. People can say whatever the fuck they want about TikTok, but Instagram easily has the dumbest people. Easily. Getting angry about temperature. Like, who does that? It's so stupid. Can we talk about gumball prices? How they still 25 cents, but everything else is up? Because they were way overpriced when they originally came out. That's why they were hella profitable. And plus, I'm pretty sure the gumballs have gotten smaller and less tasty. And artificial sugar is probably part of it too. So you don't actually have to use cane sugar, which you don't have to grow. And artificial sugars like aspartame and sucralose and all that stuff are actually highly potent in their sweetness. So you only need a small amount of it to make something just as sweet as a larger amount of sugar. So that's probably how they're doing it. BK. I know it probably wasn't a serious question, but this is a serious answer. At 17. Okay, wait. Didn't mean to send twice. Wait, why? It's sending 2 times. Sorry. No worries, man. It's not the eyes that are blind to it. It's the heart. Stick to Celsius. Why? No, I was explaining like the temperature ranges. It's far more. I think it's. Here's the thing. Someone made this point on Instagram. How Celsius is centered around water. If you didn't know, 0 degrees Celsius was chosen as the freezing point for water, and 100 degrees Celsius is chosen as the boiling point. Basically, when water turns into steam. And so it's centered around water. However, Fahrenheit is far more useful from the human perspective, where 100 or basically 100 is selected as human body temperature. But turns out the temperature thermometers weren't that accurate, and the true temperature of the human body is 98.6. And then you can compare it to outside temperature and weather and stuff like that. So it's like human-centered versus water-centered. Now, I know people in the comments were saying like, oh, Celsius is easy. If it's over 30, it's hot. If it's between 20 and 30, it's warm. And if it's colder than 20, it's something like that. Or like colder than, yeah, if it's colder than 20, then it's cold. Whatever. I don't know, man. But it's just like the range that you can choose from when it comes to weather is a lot larger in Fahrenheit, which makes it easier to communicate, I think. What do you think about doctors on TikTok? Are they like diagnosing people? That would be a problem. As far as doctors, I feel like doctors already have like a hero complex, and then giving them some clout at the same time is probably a dangerous mix. You know, they really like to suck their own, you know. So I don't know. But I don't follow doctors on TikTok though. 400K, that's fire. Yeah. And it's doing numbers, man. I wouldn't be surprised. It could get to 1 million, but we crossed 1,000 followers on Instagram, which has been a grind. It's literally been 3 years of like doing this whole podcasting thing, experimenting with social media, finally figuring this shit out, which is nice. Gumball prices have gone down. If you buy at Costco, yeah, Costco, man, Costco is like a well-run company, man. It's up there with like Toyota too. Provoking that angry emotion is beneficial though, right? Like you said in your talk. Yeah, it is. So why only gumballs but nothing else? Everything else has. Oh, why? Well, I just explained some of the reasons. Like it could be like the cost of ingredients and the transformation of ingredients to something that's more that you can get more use out of, like artificial sugars and stuff. So that's what I think. Is America the only country that uses Fahrenheit? That'd be hard to believe, but I don't know. No way you're back. Oh, Messi the GOAT. What's up? You changed your profile picture though. I think. Basically, the cost to produce a ton of things have gone down, but prices still rise. Is it purely branding? It's not branding. That's inflation, man. That's inflation. Government's printing money. That's why. So yeah, the cost to produce things has gone down. And so here's what's actually happening. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the reason why things get cheaper, despite all the money printing, is because there's a dramatic improvement in production that's constantly going. This is where technology plays into like human development and growth of society, like figuring out ways to use limited resources in more fruitful and more productive ways causes prices to go down, but the government prints more money. And now this is a delicate balance. Like, I don't think it's right. It'd be cool if things just got cheaper and cheaper, and that would be great for everybody. But you would have to ask politicians to stop spending money, which, it's not their money, so they'll just continue spending more. But the only way to grow an economy is to either use the same amount of resources to provide for more people, or use less resources to provide for the same amount of people. If you could do both, where you actually produce more with less, that's gold. That's gold if you can figure that out. But then, governments always seem to get in the way of that with a lot of regulation too, which doesn't help either. So they are making us poor. Not intentionally, but they are. Yes, we use the imperial system. What got to 400K? It was a video about temperature, Fahrenheit versus Celsius. So stupid. So stupid. It's always the dumb things, man. It's not even dumb. I actually find it interesting. But the science stuff I actually enjoy. But the fact that people got heated about it is what's getting it to 400K. People are like, oh, look at these Americans measuring things in cheeseburger lengths and fucking whatever American flag units. It's just like, bro, no one gives a fuck where you come from. That small ass country you're commenting from. No one cares. It seems confusing. It's just Fahrenheit, I think, is like a lot of people were making the point, like it's just whatever you're used to growing up. Now, doing the math makes it harder because it doesn't end in even numbers, especially like units of measurement related to distance. Those aren't easy because you just have to remember those. So when it comes to physics problems, definitely metric is better. But when it comes to communicating to other people, I think Fahrenheit could be better. I think I changed my profile pic. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so too. It's not, we just have to use conversions. Yeah. So it seems like prices would go up, but steady old gumballs stay at 25 cents. Yeah. Maybe there's a conspiracy going on with these gumballs, or maybe they're subsidized. I wouldn't be surprised. What if you put branding on these gumballs as a way to advertise them? Like there's this company that gives away water for free because they sell ad space on the can itself. And so they can give the water away for free. If you add someone in a live, do they get a notification? I don't know. Do you really think inflation matters? Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people are feeling the pain now because inflation is a little runaway there. Let me catch up here. In America, yeah, inflation does matter in America. I mean, yeah, you can say the rest of the world is inflating faster, but in the end, you are borrowing. You're screwing over the future is essentially what you're doing when you print money. Also borrowing money. Which I think one of the things Islam has going for it is this usury, except this the basically making usury haram. I think that might be a good thing. It's bad for economy, but it's good for stability. It's good for stability. I'm actually reading a book right now, Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. And essentially the idea of the book is like robust systems that actually improve because of volatility. So when people think of what's the opposite of fragile, people think robust, something that can resist shocks. But in fact, the opposite of fragile is anti-fragility, which is it actually improves because of shocks. And he gives all these examples like, your body tends to atrophy if it isn't exercised, if it's not stressed. And so small stresses can make sure your bones stay healthy, your muscles stay firm and all that. And your biology, your cardiovascular system stays is tested and and stays healthy because of it. And so like that's one example, but you find examples of this all over in nature. Like a tree that grows, like they tried this. They tried growing a tree in a biosphere, basically a sealed room or system where there is no wind. And it turns out these trees were very fragile as they grew bigger and bigger. And they found out it's like, oh, the wind actually strengthens trees because of the resistance that they feel when the wind's blowing. It hardens up the wood. And so then they become these like rigid structures. Without the wind stressing the tree, then once it gets to a certain size, it hasn't built up the tolerance to and of resisting the wood or the wind, that it then collapses because it just can't support its own weight without the stress and the reaction from the wind. And so he's like, interesting idea, right? Interesting idea. And so I'm reading that book right now. Yeah, isn't it that I thought in the individualism, it's all about efficiency and reducing costs. I swear the only thing keeping America together is nationalism. Nationalism is not a popular thing in America. I don't think it's that. I think it could be innovation, or at least grit, or no, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. Let me think about it a little more. MPH is better than KPH in my opinion. Yeah, that's probably true. We only do conversions for chemistry, but it works for us in everyday life. Yeah. Even though most of the world uses KPH, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think so. Fahrenheit is more descriptive. It's as simple. Yeah. Yes, that stuff gets viral. Creating division brings people together. I didn't intend to bring division. I just said Fahrenheit is more useful for like the weather and stuff, and Celsius is better when you're doing calculations. Now, people got in their feelings about it. That's crazy. People got in their feelings about fucking temperature. This is why people on Instagram are the dumbest. They are absolutely the dumbest. And the people on Instagram go to threads, and the threads are even dumber. And I am a savage on threads. I'm savage, bro. I'm just trolling everybody. It's crazy. Big gum. Yeah, big gum. What? Let me see. Let me catch up with these. Oh shit. What are you talking about, bro? Anything and everything, man. I know that water company. I meant inflation versus other countries, because there are some countries with trillion-dollar bills. Yeah, and Russia doesn't seem to care. They just want to take. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm the biggest hater of nationalism and individualism. See, that's funny. I love individualism. I love individual, which is why I've been fucking with Christianity lately, because Islam is more collective. Christianity is more individualist, and so that's why I've been. But you're fair to have. Feel free to have your opinion. Like country debt, when does it actually get paid off? Yeah, when you go to war. I could see that. Most people around the world use meters per hour. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just being a based American. Miles per hour. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you were making a joke. What's the last thing you gave to someone? Knowledge. If it was possible, actually, yeah, I have given knowledge with these videos, the science-based videos that I've been posting. People ask follow-up questions and I give them answers, and people enjoy it. I love this stuff. I love science. Science is awesome. If it was possible to live forever, would you want to? No, I wouldn't. It sounds like it sounds great in theory, but if you can live forever, it's easy to procrastinate too, because you could always do it later, you know. And then you outlive everybody, and then so you're living a life alone essentially. Every big civilization, Islam was its peak, and nationalism is its downfall. That can make that kind of makes sense, I guess. The gift of going live made this Sunday better. Yeah. Okay. Indeed. Hey, I'm dumb and have a company. I'm not sure what you mean. Europeans get so sensitive when it comes to America being superior in any way or form. I feel like it's low-key jealousy, not gonna lie. It's just like no one gives a fuck about your shitty ass country, guys. Like, let's not pretend you guys care about what's happening here in America. This is the club they can't get into, right? They're waiting outside in the cold, and they're like, man, people really look like they're having fun there. Yeah, we are. We got our own problems, not gonna lie, but I feel like problems overseas can be. Singapore's kind of got a popping though, at least from what I hear. But who knows? I mean, it is. Yeah. Thoughts on next year's economy? Do you think we're headed for a serious recession? I don't know. I mean, people. Here's the thing. I like the contrarians. I like the people who like doomsday and stuff, but they always make these predictions. Honestly, like I can't guess the future. But the reason why I like the book I'm reading right now is because it's basically a strategy for living with an uncertain future. When you don't know what the future has in store for you, can you still live in a way that no matter what happens, you still win? And so this is the idea of anti-fragility, where volatility. So in this case, if there's a recession, which I thought we were already in one. Oh, well, I guess a recession is officially 2 quarters of economic decrease, but whatever, or negative economic growth. Does birth order affect people's personalities? Some people like to think so. There's a book, the Birth Order book. Here's the thing. Like, I have an older brother, I have a younger brother, and a little sister, right? So I am in the middle, but I'm in the top middle. Perhaps, I think if you're the first child, sort of, because you get all the attention early, you were first. And so everything was new for the parents. So whatever mistakes they made it with them. And then the second one, it's like, oh, we did this already, so it's not new. You don't have the novelty anymore, so maybe they're not as enthusiastic and stuff. This is all just theory, though. Like, I'll know when I have kids, but it's just a guess. So perhaps the way parents raise their kids will affect their personalities. So maybe it's not about the order specifically, but because of the reaction of the parents to the order of the kids. I think that's might be it, but who knows? This is all just theory. Anyone want to know where the real estate market is headed long term? Interesting. Do you have any insight on this? Feel free to put it in. I actually just moved into a building, new apartment, most of which is empty. And there's other buildings that are being constructed, apartment complexes that are being constructed, other buildings that are still empty. So I don't know how that's going to affect the real estate market, but at least this is in the commercial sense, but whatever. I like that it's mostly empty, by the way. see, Messi. Wow. Anyone want to know? Okay. What is it? Christianity isn't individualist. American Christianity is individualist. There is a difference. Interesting. Okay. What is what? Can you provide an example? Yeah. We've been in a recession. Singapore about to be taken by China. Oh, well, maybe. Yeah. I think the beauty of America is that we have 2 big ass oceans on either side of us and allies to the north and south. So no one really can fuck with us even if we had issues and we were vulnerable. BK, you said it is, and I don't know what you're referring to, but even worse. Oh, even worse than what we're going through right now. Okay. Oh, America is better. Here's a theory on the whole economy. It's all sentiment, how people feel about the future. And it turns out if you take this as the premise, then perhaps electing people who are constantly negative about the future is probably not healthy for the economy. But maybe if you have someone who is nothing but positive and tells you how great it is and how amazing it could be and all these ideas on how we can improve the future and make it easier for people to build that future, then the economy tends to do well. It's all feeling probably in the end. And so like that voting booth has an effect on your future. I guess if you live in a purple state. BK, you mean Taiwan? Singapore is sovereign nation recognized by all. What's the name of the book? About the siblings? The birth order book? Is that, or Anti-Fragile? Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. That's the book I'm reading right now. It's over there. Nat Turner's Ghost American Christianity is more about the person and what God can do. It is very different. Okay. It'd be dope to have you on the podcast, Brooklyn, Callie. Like if you're willing, DM me, and it'd be dope to just go deep. You seem very well educated on this stuff. Oh well, as an American, debatable. Listen, Islamic government is simple and perfect. It's simple. I don't know if it's perfect. They changed the definition of a recession under the Biden administration. No, for real. Oh man, that doesn't surprise me at all. AI changing everything about the economy in no time. It has its limits. I think it'll be a useful tool for the people who can do certain jobs. It will save them time. But as far as like making the average person competent, nah. Middle child is the best. Malcolm in the middle is the best. I always thought I was Malcolm growing up. Nat uh, Nat Turner's Ghost Outside of America, and it is different in a communal society. Okay, not being biased or anything. Very different from Christians. Where, and you talking about Catholics, Protestant, firstborns are always weird. They get, I don't know if parents. I heard this. Someone said this on a podcast. Like if the parents aren't careful about checking their ego, the firstborn, because it's easy for the first kid to think they're more important, but they were just born first. And so, but sometimes kids could get that stuck in their head and have an attitude and feel some type of way, as sort of superiority compared to the other kids if that isn't checked early. And so like if someone, a firstborn, has that attitude, probably the parents didn't do their job. um, so it is what it is. Let's see. Wow, a lot of comments. All right, I'm just gonna focus on comments for the like next few minutes. Can't wait for the AI Kanye album. The AI is gonna be getting yay a Nike deal. I don't. Oh man, I wish he didn't try to like work with these established brands. Like do the grind of growing for like fucking 30 years. That's what Nike did. There's a really good book on the Shoe Dog, where he talks about Phil Knight talks about the growth of Nike and how they started literally out of his parents' basement, I think. Do you think we'll go to war with China over Taiwan? Probably not. No, they had it the toughest. Okay. I would love to share my thoughts on real estate. It changing a lot. Yeah. I mean, if you have any background on it, yeah, that'd be dope to talk on the pod. There's an audio version of this. If you're interested, DM me so I make sure I see it and we can get you on the pod. I've done missionary work in East Africa and Central America, and they were okay. There's a debate. America doesn't have the highest happiness rate. Yeah, I can believe that. I own an 8-unit building, no vacant. It's good for you. It's good for you. I have a residential concierge and development company. Okay, yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, I mean, put people on game. Let us know what's actually going on here. Nat Turner's Ghost, the way we implement God's word is different. Yeah, it's a lot of doom and gloom coming from Republicans right now on the internet. It's doom and gloom coming from everybody, man. It's crazy. Well, I mean, obviously Republicans are talking about doom and gloom because the person who is going to be blamed for that doom and gloom is a Democrat. But but it turns out like both these parties are just bullshitting everyone. Hopefully not. I don't want to fight China right now. Yeah. It shouldn't be if we're reading the same scripture. Okay, sure. I'll come on the podcast. Awesome. Messi the GOAT. Yeah, man. I'm getting scared, especially if Russia jumps in too. I don't know. The typing on here is so small and hard to see. It is. You get me? Seeing if Russia and China come into play, it's scary. I think, man, they sell fear, dude. They're selling us a lot of fear. And that's the thing I don't really like about the mainstream news. That's the only way they make their money is by selling fear. Hey, cutie, you got a man? I am the man. At Nat Turner. Let's see. Man. Okay. Yes, the housing system is fucked. Here's the thing. I have this idea that you could build a 200,000. You know how what the average cost of a house is like 200 something grand or something like that. What if you could do it a tenth of the price, $20,000? And I've been thinking, like, is that possible? It would require some changes in the way we construct homes and also the design of the homes. And I think that'd be interesting. I pray it doesn't get near that point. I'm a firstborn. I always kind of felt like the disappointment of the family. Damn, that sucks. I do not talk to Christians often. I'm more with the atheist philosophy is my priority. Okay. Uh, I'm praying as well. If it does get to that point, I don't see a bright outcome. I'll send you a DM. Cool. BK. Are you engaged? I am engaged. You seem very convinced, but have not been able to provide one evidence. Okay. Yes, me, zesty bestie. Okay. Man, I'm noticing differences in practices of Islam. Why don't you give me an argument for why Christianity is the truth? I don't think anyone's interested in arguing right now. So I think that's the issue you're having right now. Aja. I'm going to call you Aja because I can't read Arabic. Do you think AI and robots will eventually develop emotions, consciousness, and morality? Nope. No. Here's the thing. I listen to Scott Adams every now and then, his podcast, and he has this theory about like human intelligence being mostly fantasy. And the more and more stuff I post on social media, see how people interact, deal with people day to day, I realize he's probably right. We think humans are smart. We're not. We're just these emotional animals who make irrational decisions all the time and justify it to ourselves, coming up with these rational explanations. But in reality, we're all just emotional. So when people say artificial intelligence, it presumes intelligence even exists. And maybe it doesn't even exist, man. In which case, it's like, can AI be like humans? Yeah, because humans are irrational and emotional and they lie all the time, they manipulate, they follow their base desires. Does that mean it will develop emotions? It's just ones and zeros, man. So consciousness, knowing that it exists, I don't know. You can't because land is scarce and zoning needs to be completely changed. Yeah, obviously, land is the limit. So I was just speaking of just the construction of the structure itself. Obviously, you'd have to add on the cost, but yeah, zoning laws would definitely have to be changed. And as far as like land being scarce, it's scarce in cities. It's scarce in towns. It's scarce where people actually want to live. But as far as the rest of the country, if like there's plenty of land here, like if people wanted to start their own communities, effectively, there's land out here. Now, is it easy to obtain the ownership of? Probably not. I think a lot of it is federal land. So the government would have to get out of the way essentially, but I have some ideas for it. But it would be dope to have you on the podcast and talk about it. And then you tell us, and then you tell me how all of it's unrealistic. That'd be cool. Let's see. Man, okay. Not morality, perhaps everything else. I don't believe you. I'm not converting, but I have researched Sufism in the past. Okay. Wow, that's a scary thought. Oh, AI only says they feel emotions, they don't feel it. Yeah. There's two different types of Muslims, Sunni and Shia, and I think 90% are Sunni. Yeah. I love, he is the best classical Islamic scholar, so Sufi's critical. What book has theory on human intelligence being a fantasy? Um, ooh, well, I mean, any book on persuasion, um, would probably give you some insight into it because you realize like people can be easily manipulated if you address like certain areas of their psychology, like the halo effect, the reciprocation rule, like 48 Laws of Power is also good as a governing guide to protect yourself from people who understand this deeply. But I think Scott Adams does have a book out here where he talks about like stupid think or something like that. Scott Adams books where he explains this idea. Let me double check for you. Scott Adams books. Let's see. Reframe Your Brain. I think that's the new one. Loser Think, I think would be a good one to read. And then How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big is basically the book that I've used to construct my life. It's a really good book. Early Sufis were upon the truth, though. What are some of the best books you ever read? Yeah, so How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big is a good one. Really, really good one. Uh, what's another one? Influenced by Robert Cialdini. So these are books where I have shortcomings that help me overcome them. So like one of the things I really struggle to understand people, and doing the social media has drastically helped me understand people, because I didn't realize how people actually were. And so Influenced by Robert Cialdini is a good one. How to Fill Out Almost Everything Still One Big is a different approach on life that I think I sort of agree with, but that's up to you to decide. um, 0 to 1 is also good too, by Peter Thiel, where he talks about coming up with unique, novel ideas. And I think a book like that would resonate with this type of audience here. If you're here, you're probably someone who's more skeptical of the mainstream, who questions things by default. And if you are that type of person, there's a question they ask in that book, like, what's something you believe that everyone would disagree with you about? And essentially using that as a focal point for coming up with new things that should exist in the world and starting a company to solve that, to create that thing, and solving problems that other people don't even recognize. And so that's what he's talking about. 0 to 1, you are the person who takes it from nothing to something, as opposed to a lot of like businesses these days where they just try to take something that's already proven. And so then you just end up getting into competition, and then the profits go away because of that competition. Instead, when you're this unique thing that no one else sees, because you have unique insight, because you understand something true in the world that other people completely disagree with you about, then you can set yourself apart, and you're not competing with anybody. You become the one. Not trying to make a Neo reference, but kind of. All right, let me catch up with comments here, though. And then also list any good books you're reading, Manny, or that you really enjoy. There was another form of school, Islamic thought, born in the West. Okay. I might have to skip a few of these. Oh, shit. Okay, a lot of comments. It's scarce in Wyoming. You have 1+ acre lot zoning. Okay. If you really, is that how it works? 1 acre? If you want more views, just make more videos making some obscure place in America. Making some obscure place America is better in. Yeah, just trigger people. Okay. Let me catch up with these. God clearly had to start everything. What else could have a singularity? Yeah. Do you know jurisprudence and thought? There are different schools. All right. I put the books down. Okay, cool. Now I'm creating my own market. Okay. Because I see where the market is going. Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. Everyone on here talks about making money from flipping, wholesaling, etc. Yeah, I don't know. It's like when you do what everyone else does, the money isn't there. You have to do something different in some unique and interesting way. And so like there's, and you know, whatever. Yeah, there's no explanation except a form of God. Real estate agents will be gone in 20 years. So what replaces them? Will they? I mean, like we still have salesmen at car dealerships. I think with big purchases, people need their hands held. I think that's the only service that they provide. But I mean, people pay for that. They're willing to pay 6% of the purchase price for that. Because I wish it were simpler. I actually looked into getting into real estate years ago and realized I fucking hate this shit. Just like talking to a bank, getting qualified, and trying to like. And here's the thing: I lived in a place that had all these like dilapidated houses that needed a lot of work, and so I was like, "Ooh, I could easily like." I like working with my hands, so for me, it was just a project I could work on, and then also live there. And then if I decide I want to leave the city or the town I was living in, then I could just sell it or whatever. And I seriously considered it until I realized like all these rundown houses were owned by the city, and they have a lot of rules in order to make the purchase. And there's a certain minimum number, there's a certain amount of funds you have to have that they think you have to have in order to bring it up to code. And then you have to follow all these rules in the construction process. So you can't just do a lot of the work yourself. You're going to have to go through a general contractor who's like licensed, that they approve. And then you have to also stay in that place for a minimum of 5 years. And I'm like, y'all don't want this city to be better? Like, and so it's still shitty. It's still shitty because who would put all this time, effort into rebuilding these houses, making them fit for habitation again, getting it back on the market when you have all these fucking hoops to jump through? And it's not even a nice town. It's like it used to be when there was a big company there who brought all these jobs that then left. And so like, you want the city to grow, you want it to become healthy again, but you make it so fucking hard for people to improve it. So that's why I realize these politicians ain't doing shit. They're not doing shit to help anything. How much water I consume in a day? I don't know. Enough. At least probably a liter of water a day. It's not a lot. I used to drink way more water. I only do this for the live stream because I could feel it. Like talking for an hour and 25 minutes already. If I'm not hydrating, I'm going to pay the price later. Yes, we already find what we want online. Yeah, basically. So I think all it is just hand holding and making sure the deal happens. Which, is it worth 6% the purchase price? I don't know, but people do it. So there is a great argument for that, like cosmological or contingency argument. So we're going to continue to pay extra while inflation is going up? I don't know. People are weird, man. So I can't tell you human behavior on this stuff when it comes to real estate or the way people buy things, whatever. Like, I don't know. I think it'd be dope to crash the housing market, though. It's a crazy idea. One day it'd be dope if I could somehow be a part of that project of crashing the housing market, because then it'd make housing affordable for people again. It would put a lot of people underwater on their loans, but I mean, whatever. People don't want to spend more to find a home they already found. They want to make sure it becomes a great investment. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The fact that homes have become an investment is the reason why we get these housing bubbles. This is why we have scarcity in the market. Like, it's literally NIMBYism. Except, here's the thing. I actually had this conversation with my brother, who actually owns a house. And I was like, when he was looking for a house, he was desperate. He was like, oh man, it's so hard. All these houses, they're all expensive. It's hard to get into and all that. And then after he becomes a homeowner and his net worth is tied to the value of that property, now he doesn't mind if it's harder. In fact, it means it's better for his wallet. It's better for his net worth that housing is scarce. And so you see the problem. People, when they're trying to get into the game, it's fucking hard. Once you're in it, you make it harder for the next people to come in, because that would directly affect your move into it. And so it's like, this is I don't know if this is a sustainable thing. And this is all fueled by, one, people treating their houses as investments, which, I mean, okay, think about if that even makes sense as an idea. And then two, it's also fueled by debt. It's fueled by debt, future money. This is why when Muslims talk about riba, usury and stuff like that, like, people have trapped themselves with this stuff. And I think that could be very dangerous. And this is how you get a housing crash in 2008. It could possibly happen again. I don't fucking know. I am not keeping, but I'm just saying, like, Muslims are onto something when they talk about, like, yeah, we don't make money off of interest and stuff like that. And here's the thing. It's not haram to borrow money. It's haram to charge interest for lending money. And so Muslims could, whatever. We don't have to get into it. People don't want to spend more. Okay. Let me catch up with these. I'll check it out. Which spans far beyond the sales process. The cost to build has like tripled in the last 5 years. Politicians lie and lie and lie. Yeah, they do not have one attribute of a leader, but the lies are what get them there. But here's the funny thing, Aja. The funny thing is that people want to be lied to. People want to be lied to. And I see it every day. I see it every day when I post a video that challenges what people know. They will defend the lies. They will defend the people who lie to them. It's crazy, man. We are. This is why when it goes back to the AI conversation, like, you think people are intelligent? Do you really think so? Because people love the lies. They love the lies and they defend the lies. Not just the people who are telling the lies, but the people who believe the lies like hearing the lies, and they will fight to protect the liars. And so it's like, if you're one of the few people out here who are just calling it like you see it, you're willing to challenge everything that people know, to be honest with people, understand you are a rare person. And I think that's what, if you like this stream, that's the type of person you might be. They do not have one. I have a couple of tables, okay, because it's owned by the wrong people. Ravens about to win over Chargers. I don't watch football. There's a book on that called Buran. Dude, a house was 20K in 1930 and 3 million now. Whoa, that's a big, it's an investment. LOL. No. Should it be an investment? I don't think back in the day, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong, but back in the day, it wasn't considered an investment. It was just a place to live. And because salaries were comparably, at least salaries could afford a house, that it was not treated that way. It was what was it? The mortgage bond that kind of fueled all this. It wasn't an investment. Now it is. And it's dangerous that it is. It's dangerous that your entire net worth is tied into this fucking asset that is largely a liability when you first purchase it. It's largely a liability. It's crazy. Average houses are like 300K. You buy when renting becomes bad for your wallet. It depends. It depends where you're living. I built a community of 100 homes outside of New York City. Okay. Why would anyone defend lies? Because the truth hurts. The truth sucks. The truth sucks. So the lies feel good. The lies are just feeding your ego. They're feeding your base desires. They're feeding your vices. The truth sucks. The truth sucks. But I think it is, I don't know. It takes, I think, a special type of person to want to hear the truth and enjoy it. That's the problem, though. Those who are smart use AI to make that 1% even further of a gap. Yeah. There might be a deeper issue here that we are not seeing, maybe. Hello, Abdullah. Bugatti. People used to just build their houses. Yeah, that'd be dope if we could bring. Here's the thing: I don't like the way houses are constructed these days. You know, the framing, stick built stuff. Yeah. And here's even a more interesting idea: houses aren't built for people and families; they're built for contractors to make more money. Because if you think about it, houses wouldn't have like a dining room and also a dining section in a kitchen where people mostly eat. You wouldn't have a family room and a living room, which is kind of redundant, you know? And if you think about how you live inside of your house that has all these things, what do you actually use? And then you realize like houses are probably these days oversized. But that's good for the contractor because they can charge more for those houses. When I built those homes, we had to subsidize affordable housing because New York is suing every county. Yeah. New York is tough to be a landlord in, bro. Good luck to you, bro. Because I know I looked into this stuff too, and like tenant laws favor the tenant heavily. It's kind of crazy because there is no affordable housing. So anyone who does build also has to subsidize. Yeah. I just realized you're an AI model. Show what's in your black bottle. What do you mean? It's just water, dude. AI model. It's just water. You're the only person on TikTok so far who could say my name right. Yeah, I grew up around Muslims. So a lot of Arabs. I grew up around a lot of Arabs. Oh, and if you're Arab and you're looking for a TV show, Al Maktab is The Office, the Arab version of The Office. If you haven't seen it, you might enjoy it. I don't know Arabic, so I didn't even bother trying to watch it. 10% of the community and those houses sold for less than the cost of land. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, that's wild. They force you to take a loss on those things, huh? Which means you have to charge all the other ones way more, huh? To cover that cost. I could build a house easy, bro. Clay bricks and that. Yeah, unless you're in California. But yeah, I think here's the thing. I want to build my own house one day, just like using probably timber frames and structurally insulated panels. I don't want any utilities on any external walls because that complicates, the thermal envelope. Probably have all utilities run through a central line, and have probably single story would make it simpler. And then obviously you'd use engineered trusses for the roof. And it'd be interesting. Like, do you know why drywall exists? It's because you're building the house out of flammable wood. And so you need something to retard the fire. And so that's what drywall does. It's fire protection. So what if maybe concrete or some form of that as sheathing, or at least I don't know. I've thought about this idea a lot, but it would be cool. My business works in New York, Connecticut, Florida. Tough regulations. Yeah, tough, man. I feel like Florida would be easier, but Florida, you have to deal with like hurricanes if you're near the shore. So, but Connecticut and New York, definitely probably super tough. Have you considered Texas? See, you're resisting. It's not water, it's oil. Show what's inside the bottle. It's just water, bro. Do you ever edge? What do you mean edge? You're not asking what I think you're asking, are you? Everyone else just gave up on saying my name or just said it horribly wrong. Really? Abdullah? They don't know how to say Abdullah? Yeah. Or like whenever you run into an Aladdin. Yeah, I had a friend growing up. It's like Aladdin, and everyone called him Aladdin. What is the housing BK? What is the housing market in America? Yes, they force you to take a loss to cover the costs, which the average person pays for, which banks take 8%. Damn. What's the show again? Al Maktab. Al Maktab. Let me see if I can spell it for you. Al Tab. Yeah, it's basically the Arab version of The Office. ALMAKTAB. It's in Arabic though, so if you know Arabiya, then you'll be good. I know legit every inch of your home. Yeah, see, it'd be dope to have you on the pod. You talk about all this stuff, put people on some game, like in a fatherly way. That's funny, messy. That's funny. That's messy, bro. Trolley, troll emoji. Oh man, that's great. Bugdadi? Am I saying it right? I don't know if I'm saying it right. People really struggling on my last name though. Also, because people send so much cash to buy the home if things change economically. Fast kid in the class, have a cute dog, real estate development. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Real estate is interesting. Real estate is interesting. I don't know if I'll ever want to own some property. Here's the thing: if I ever do own, it'd probably be a building where I live in, and then like a multi-use facility. I can't imagine just buying a house and just maintenance sucks, guys. Maintenance sucks. My brother owns a home. I lived with him for a minute after COVID to reconnect with the family, and shit just breaks, dude, all the time. And good thing I can turn a wrench, so I was the one who fixed it all. I probably saved my brother thousands of dollars of home repair, and auto repair too. But like, man, imagine every day you wake up, something goes wrong, and you're constantly fixing things. I remember having a coworker. He was telling me, like, bro, don't buy a home. It fucking sucks. Everything breaks all the time. All these people are buying homes, and all your coworkers, they start buying homes. So you feel like you got to buy a home. But then when you actually own it, it's like you got to deal with all the issues. Also, because people send so much cash to buy the home if things change economically, nobody buys cash. Oh, okay. Buy cash, bro, avoid loans. Yeah, a lot of people just don't have enough cash, which sucks, especially for Muslims. It sucks because they can't get the mortgages. Those who are like really, really serious about riba and usury, they can't fuck with that. So what they do sometimes is go to Habitat for Humanity and buy a home through them, who offer them the house with no interest. So that's good for them. Which is why I fuck with Habitat for Humanity for real. It'd be cool, like to start a. I don't know. Probably not even worth sharing the idea. You look kind of Muslim. I grew up Muslim. Nobody buys cash. Beard and bald head. Yeah, it wasn't my intention. I just am naturally bald, and if I shave my beard, I get really bad razor bumps. So I just let it grow. Need brotherly advice? Okay, what do you need? Prosperity, love. Hello, Snickerdoodle in winter. I think I've seen. Yeah, you've been here before. What's up? How you doing? Snickerdoodle's your dog, and your name is. It starts with a T, I think, or a S. What is it? It's not Cheryl, is it? Terry? It's not Terry. It can't be Terry. What is it? What is it? What is her name, guys? Man. All right. Hey, because buying cash is a term. Rich people take out loans. Yeah. Let me see. All right. My guy is dealing with court issues, wants me to hold it down, but he's always been mean. Says to wait. My guy is dealing with court issues, wants me to hold it down, but he's always been mean. Says to wait. I'm not sure what you mean. Wait, are you female? Are you his girl? Is that what you're saying? That's probably why. Say, I hate them. What? No, I'm not going to say that. Come on, man. You trying to get the stream banned? If I want out, says to wait. If I want out. Okay. I don't know. I've never dealt with anyone who's dealing with legal issues. So I've been a juror once. I was the foreman of a quadruple homicide. If you guys can believe it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. It was crazy, dude. Also learned how emotional and stupid people could be going through that experience. You see him and you think a kind man? I'm not sure. It always costs more and takes longer in real estate. Yeah. Please read my 3-part question. No, I don't know if I can give you any advice on whether or not you should stick with your dude while he's dealing with the court thing. That's up to you. Cash means you can offer better terms. It doesn't mean you take out a loan. Yeah. Tammy's, damn it. I knew it started with a T. Shit. Tammy's. Okay. I definitely knew that. Okay. Let me catch up with these. Yes, he wants me to wait for him, but he's a mean person. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you yes or no. And I don't know the circumstances of the situation. And what do you mean by mean? Is he abusive? Is it that kind of like abusive in the way where he says things that make you feel bad, or actual like physical stuff, you know? And I don't know. That's up to you. But you got to live with it though. Because if I were him, let me just tell you, if I were him and my girl was like, don't really want to stick around, I'm like, okay, you can leave, but don't fuck with me later. Like, that's how I am. I have no problems cutting people out. So that's me. And maybe you too. So maybe you just don't want to be, maybe you were already thinking about breaking up with them or whatever. And guess you should speak to him. Speak to you. Imam, backstabbing is not permissible. Explain to him. Tell us more. You are not. Oh, sorry. Oh, ditch the dude. Why? Wow, that's a firm answer. How do I say I want out politely? It's stressing me out. Yeah, just peace, bro. Yo, guy caught up with the law, and then his girl leaves him too. Man, things really. I don't know. I have this idea that bad things happen in threes. He's getting caught up in the court system, whatever, legitimately or illegitimately. That would make the difference too. Like, is it a legit thing that he did wrong that now he's paying the consequences for, or is he just being caught up because the government decided to have their crosshairs on him and are just making an example out of him for whatever reason? That could change but then that's up to you. You don't want to be a part of it, so it's just a matter of just figuring out the way to say, I don't want this, and you can leave. It really is that simple. Now it's stressing you out because it's a tough thing to do, but I mean, clearly you don't want to be in it anymore. You're not actually asking us if you should stay around because you've already decided. Now it's just a matter of how you do it. Maybe while you're staring at him across the plexiglass, you can put your hand out and just say, "This has been fun, bro. I'll catch you on the other side." And then peace out. Don't be polite if he's mean unless he's a physical threat. No, she wants out already, so just be out. See, I'm outie like an RA. No, I'm outie like a Saudi. Say, I'm not sure how to say that, bro. I ain't giving any advice, bro. Yeah, seems self-inflicted. I don't know why. Like the law, if they decide to come after you, man, you know, I see stories of this shit all the time. I'm just like, the government's fucking evil, bro. They will ruin you just because you just happen to be the target that day. I don't want to get involved. She said he's mean. She's looking for a reason to leave the guy. Of course, she's going to frame it that way. We don't know the other. Women have a tendency to do this, by the way. Like, you ever notice when they break up, when a relationship ends between a guy and a girl, somehow he was this awful person, whatever, like horrible situation, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure there are situations when that's true, but a lot of the times women just frame things in a certain way to make themselves look better for her, it having ended. Which, I mean, why? Like, you listen to Yeezy? No. Oh, do I listen to any Yeezy? Yeah. I love Kanye. I love Ye. Ye. At least the new version of Ye. I know people are like, oh, I miss the old Ye. No. I like the new Ye. I like the new Ye. Hey, Dad. Hey, Mike. You cold for real? Yeah. Let's get some ice cream cones. Well, no, he calls me nasty names. Okay. Well, I mean, you clearly don't want to be in the thing anymore, so just end it with him, I guess. Like, I'm sure he wants you to stick around because it sucks when everything's working against you at the same time. But I mean, that's sort of the existence of men a lot of the time. Shit just goes wrong and everything goes wrong. When you're losing, nobody fucks with you, bro. Nobody. When you're up, everyone wants to be your friend. But when you're down, everyone disappears. Everyone disappears. It's just life for a dude. It sucks, but it's also great because it means you have control. So when you're winning, you get to decide. It's like, nope, you weren't there in the beginning. So you can leave. There's the door. I have that attitude with this fucking social media shit too. I remember the people who fuck with this shit way before it was at the fucking 65 plus thousand people following Table Moments across social platforms. It's like the new ones, probably fair weather followers, but the people who fuck with me early, like all you guys here right now on live stream with me, all 9 of you, y'all the people I really fuck with. And so I have this attitude, just like, fuck the rest of the world, man. I appreciate the people who are early. Oh hell no, I have a honey nun play date. Okay. Finding someone who doesn't frame things is a task. LOL. All women do it though. That's the problem. All of them do. Even the best ones do it in some way. They can't help themselves, bro. Favorite song? I don't have it. Oh, of Yeezy's? Man, College Dropout was really good. But I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite song. A lot of them were just so good. And I really like the documentary too. Like when they were Slow Jams is really good. I don't know. They're all really good. Favorite Yeezy song and favorite song of all time. I don't know if I could choose. I mean, you should be truthful always, so leave him. The prophet said, if something burdens your heart, leave it. I agree. So leave him, I guess. Yeah. Not until I can become the man she needs me to be, though. I'm not sure what you mean. Who cares what she needs you to be? Like, do you, bro? Here's the thing. Women are worried about themselves. Society's worried about it itself. For some reason, when it comes to us men, we're not worried about ourselves. She doesn't give a shit about you. obviously, yeah, if she loves you, whatever, and she's feeling those emotions, whatever, towards you, yeah, she's fucking with you. But you drop the ball, things aren't going well, you start taking a bunch of L's in your life. There's a point where she's going to start thinking, man, maybe I bet wrong. Now, I hear there are women out here who are just like that, ride or die, who like, doesn't matter, we will get through this kind of thing. That's not most women. That's not. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, you just aren't, probably. It is what it is. It sucks, but this fantasy, I think a lot of men, we have this fantasy that like women are, there is such a thing as, or that a lot of women are ride or die. They're not. The average woman is not. Which, think about it, the average dude ain't shit. So why would the average woman be shit? It's congruent, So favorite album, mine's College Wasn't What I Said. Oh, okay. My girlfriend is amazing and I want to propose one day because I know she's been there at my worst. Oh, good for you. I feel like that most of the time, honestly, it's not going to work. Yeah. She loved my bad and I want to be better for me first, but also us. Yeah. All right. Good for you, bro. Yeah. And I think it's like, this is why I think guys should be going on a lot of dates to find a girl who's like that. Because I don't think you can make somebody like that, Again, you can't change people. I think someone mentioned that. I am the shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, Juliana, what's up? You guys got anything on your minds though? Outside of, in theory, of course. No. In practice. I don't like the major life decisions stress me out. I don't know. The attitude I've taken for life is just like no regrets. I'm going to take a lot of risks. A lot of things people think are risky, but aren't actually risky. Like trying to do your own thing, trying to speak up, say the things that are on your mind unabashedly. These are things people are scared to do. They are scared to do. And I understand it's like, there's this threat, this constant cloud of like everything can be taken away from you at any time. But when you live life on your own terms, there's nothing to take away. And so it's just like a level of freedom that I wish more people had. And it'd be dope if I can help people get that kind of freedom. Because like, people always talk about like, oh man, I can't wait till I have fuck you money. It's just like, wait, so when you've amassed amount of resources that you're comfortable and set for the rest of your life, you think you're going to speak up when now you have all these things to lose? I never understood it. And it's like, you think you'll be set, but there's this thing. People get into the habit of lifestyle creep, where as they get more economically successful, they start living that kind of lifestyle. So you're always in this like trap of like, oh, I can always lose. I can always lose this. And so then you basically create these like massive handcuffs that you can never free yourself from. I think the trick is to live simply and pursue the things that you feel like you're meant to do. And it'll all work out in the end if you genuinely do that stuff. At least that's the attitude I've been taking. I'll let you know how it works out. I'll let you know. I don't, what's the coolest thing you ever done? I don't think it's that cool. Rebuilt a motorcycle, build apps and stuff. When I taught myself how to build apps, so that's cool. But I think the coolest thing I'll ever have done, I haven't done yet. So but yeah, starting my own company was easier than sitting at a 9-to-5. Yeah, because it's what I love to do. Yeah, exactly. I guess we can leave from destiny, accept destiny, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Losing is a gift sometimes. Yeah, it is, actually. It can be. And this is like taking that positive view of life. No matter what life throws at you, you can always spin it in a positive way, which isn't the same as the toxic positivity that churches seem to do. For the believer, thinking Allah has a plan is enough. Yeah. What is losing? You never know how it plays out. Yeah, exactly. Like that story about the horse and the father and the son who gets injured, all that stuff. Like you never know what's going to happen. You can't know until the end. Sola is the best of planners. Favorite show of all time. Favorite country flag. Wait, what? Oh, that's your favorite story? Oh, okay. It's a pretty common one, so I don't know. The farmer and the boy. Yeah, I think that's one. It's common, I think, among cultures, but yeah, you don't know what the outcome of the thing is, or you don't know how to feel about the events of something until you know the final outcome. But in the end, you just never know. So it's like, we'll see, and then things turn out however. So, as far as favorite show of all time, Prison Break is pretty good. It's a story of a man who is a structural engineer whose brother is falsely imprisoned. Like he was framed for killing like a vice president's brother or some shit. And it turns out this whole conspiracy thing, but his brother is a structural engineer. And it turns out that his brother, who got falsely convicted, is imprisoned in a prison that this brother, structural engineer, designed. And so he gets himself sent to that same prison so he can break his brother out. And he has like the blueprints that he designed for that prison tattooed all over his body. It's a fucking good show, guys. Man. And plus I like any show or movie that like centers around an engineer. Because I'm an engineer. That's why I like it. Or at least that's what I studied. So that's favorite country flag, America, obviously. If you had to live somewhere besides America, where would you go? Ah, man, I don't know. I've been to a few places. Turkey looks interesting, but I don't think I've visited enough places to make a decision on that. So I'm not sure. Where would you go though? Maybe you're not answering my questions. It just takes me time to get to the comments. Naruto, best show ever, and I don't like anime. Attack on Titan's pretty good. It's an interesting concept. Prison Break at the end gets weird. Yeah, it gets weird. That's what happens when you don't end a season before. When you trail out a TV show longer than it should. Thank you for answering. Oh, my bad. The Wire, but oh yeah, The Wire is also really good too. But that's a dark show. If you're looking for a modern show that's kind of similar, Mayor of Kingstown might be an interesting show. You want to live in Italy? Okay. Greece is dope. Going there. Okay. Don't they hate Habeshas in Turkey? I don't know. I was treated fine. Bro, Attack on Titan came out 2013 and finished now. Yeah, I don't know. It's anime's weird. I'm not even an anime fan, not gonna lie. Like all my other siblings, they enjoy anime, but not me. How it's made is probably my favorite TV show. Not gonna lie. How it's made, I could just watch that endlessly. Or I remember there was I used to watch TLC. TLC before they became whatever bullshit they are now. They were formerly TLC, the Learning Channel. That's what TLC used to stand for. And so they had like educational shows. And one of them was Junkyard Wars, where they would have two teams in a junkyard and they would give them a challenge like, all right, you guys are going to have to design and build a hovercraft and race it against each other. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Obviously, because I love engineering. I love building. I like working with my hands and stuff. So it appealed to me as a kid. Growing up, trying to watch the show, I realized it was all fucking fake. It was all fake. And it's like no way they could build all this stuff out of. Oh, they just happened to find a perfectly good motor that fits into this propeller in the junkyard. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. It gets weird too. Endguard Tate. What's up? Endguard Tate. Do you mean Andrew? At the end of LOL, like they have E. I respect you so much for being you. Oh, thanks. I don't show the screen during Boondocks reactions. I'm not sure what you're getting at. Because that's dorky as fuck. I'm a fucking engineer, dude. Like I studied engineering, like I worked as an engineer, like Now I do software, but like, yeah, fucking love building. I like creating things with my hand. I like figuring out how things work. That's just me. That's why I think engineers aren't born that or aren't made. They're born. You kind of have to have it in you to like want to take things apart, figure out how they work. I constantly go into these deep dive research of like how things work all the time. It's crazy. That's what I do in my spare time. And then I realized like most people aren't like that. Most people, they don't care to know how things work, which is weird, but okay. Super high PSI grass, and their engineers can't build like weapons. I'm not sure what you're saying. They make a new Barney. Did you hear? They making a no, I didn't hear. You still talk to that Wilma girl? She had a story about y'all. I don't know what you're referring to, but okay. Ruined my childhood. Launching like 300 kilogram stone at decent velocity, shit like hammer hype man. Oh, like a kinetic missile? Is that what you're talking about? You should do a reaction for Boondocks on stream. Just don't show it on stream for reason. Oh, that's what you mean. I actually enjoyed the Boondocks, but that's definitely copyright. Even the audio, dude. Even the audio. So I can't do that. I am like that with real estate. That's why I like you, my guy. Yeah. You see, that's the thing. Like, we're fortunate enough to find the things that we're like super into. Other people don't have things, unfortunately, or they haven't discovered that thing for themselves yet. Which I don't know. Maybe this page could accidentally help them because I talk about anything and everything. I'm like that with philosophy, bro. Okay, good for you, man. You should make content if you don't already. Like, you seem pretty passionate about. You would do really well with a lot of Muslims on here for sure. Especially if you can tie it to like philosophy and bigger ideas. Especially if you can take things people are familiar with, like, and then tie it into Islam and ideas and the way of living, which you seem to like preaching. So true. I'm a nerd for soccer. Yeah, Messi. You definitely are. Messi is the GOAT. He's not just the GOAT. He's two goats. He's two goats, which is equivalent to 5 bushels of wheat, right? So Messi is the wheat. Is the Wheaties. Yeah, I'm bullying you. Oh, no, I'm not. You can't say stuff like that on the stream, man. It's gonna get the stream banned because the AI sucks, guys. The AI sucks. Yeah, I don't know what else you guys got. I mean, I guess I could keep talking. I mean, it's 10:53 here. I'm kind of tired, but I mean, I'm still at 61% battery, so I got plenty of juice left for this stuff. No, you're the nicest, most supportive creator. I was just joking. No, I get it. You live in Texas? Yeah, I live in Texas, Austin, Texas, ATX. Yeah, it's cool. Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you, Jessica? Nice to see you here again. Nice to see you here again. How are you following 10,000 people? Man, your For You page must be wild. At least you get some variety every day. If that number is accurate, that's a lot of people to be following. What's my real name? Ayman. Ayman's my name. Well, it's not my real name. It's the name everyone calls me. It's a nickname. When I was born, like my dad gave me a name, and turns out my mom actually preferred a different name, Ayman. And instead of going through the legal trouble of changing my name, she just called me Ayman and introduced me as Ayman to everyone. And so that's what basically everyone knows me as now. Even though that's not my legal name, like on my ID, it's a different thing. But as far as I'm concerned, Ayman is my name, and it's tied to my personality at this point. Not that I'm hiding my name, whatever, but it is what it is. Always good. Thank you too. Chronically online. That's how. My phone died. Missing something? I'm not sure. No. I get a lot of DMs. Really? Of what? What are they DMing you? Ayman. 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 I know some people pronounce it Amen or Eman. It's Ayman. But I guess it doesn't matter. Like that's a funny thing. I never mention my name on any of the videos or whatever because I'm like the content speaks for itself, right? I think it's kind of interesting that people are hitting that follow button, um, despite not knowing what my name is. It's kind of interesting. It's like I like that it's not about me. The idea behind this whole podcast page and table moments and that is that it's supposed to be beyond me. It's supposed to be bigger than me, which is why I don't center it around. Obviously, it's all me at this point because there is no one else involved in this. But eventually, it'd be dope if this grows beyond me. We have other people. Maybe some of you guys get involved in this shit, and it's like I have a lot of bigger ideas for this stuff. One day I'll get there, but it'd be cool if we can actually like make movies and TV shows, entertainment that is honest and pushes the culture a little bit. That would be cool and is entertaining and probably educational, made for a higher IQ people. You know, you see the stuff on YouTube these days, like Mr. Beast or whatever. They literally dumb down the content on purpose because they understand it'll get broad appeal that way. They expect people to be dumber. They tailor the content for that. And I don't know. I think the world deserves better. And I prefer to create something more impactful than just jumping buses over other buses. Oh wow. Well, so many messages a day. Oh, I'm in air. What do they message you? Everything you probably could think of. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people get really sexual, as they tend to do with women online. Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly. Seems genuine though. Yeah. If I'm real and where I'm from to dates and my marriage status, that's crazy. Man. Yeah, it's gotta suck from a DM point of view for women, specifically on social media, because you get flooded. I've gotten DMs too, but probably not even close to it. Every day, nah, that's not happening to me, bro. That's not happening. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Messy's the goat. Okay. But love and respect all opinions. Okay. I'm no catfish, no filter. Okay. Messy. My fiance is used to it. I get so many, both men and women. Women sliding in your DMs. That's interesting. Here's the thing. I've had dudes slide in my DMs, which is not something anyone warns you about when you get into this social media game. Like if you're a dude, the first people who will slide into your DMs will be other dudes. And then the women will come. But first the dudes, and the dudes are hella sexual. It's crazy. They are forward, guys. It's like, hey, have you ever considered? I'm like, nope, I'm good. But I appreciate the ask, I guess. I don't know. It's a compliment, maybe? Whatever. It's hilarious. People, man, it's wild. Had all the times in my dreams. Yes. Oh, you're bisexual. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Why? Maybe if you're public about that, I can understand why women would come slide in your DMs. But guys don't care. Guys are weird. Guys are weird. So, you know what? I've noticed a pattern, at least on Instagram, like, uh, like there's more moderation features. I've never used any moderation features on any of these social platforms. I don't mind getting messages or the comments or people stitching my videos or anything like that. The thing I can't stand is when creators out here restrict other people from using their material. So like when they disable like stitches or whatever, it's just like part of the game here is be able to take a little bit of heat, you know? You got to be able to take heat. Like, so that's what I'm about. It's like, if you're going to play this game, play it. Don't like try to play it on kid mode, you know, especially with the glasses. It's like they're admitting they're wrong. Moderation here encourages ignorance. Maybe the glasses. Yeah, I don't know if it's the glasses. Without the glasses, with the glasses, I don't know. The glasses are a part of my look at this point, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's funny because these are like just $10 frames from Zenny Optical, so it's like it's not even that impressive. Those men hitting your DMs. Yeah. Girls are more polite though. That's the thing I've noticed. Like guys, they just go straight. They know what they want and they ask. But girls, they're like they'll find a reason to slide in or they'll make a comment about your video or whatever. Um, and then you can have more of a conversation with them before you realize, oh, okay, that's why you slid in my DMs. Got it. Dang, LOL, those frames, they're just 10. Yeah. Zenny Optical. Like, why did, here's the thing. I added these silver dots there. These are magnets that I added to them, but they're just black frames. Whatever. What's one DM you received from a gay guy and then a straight girl? Find one right now. They're on Instagram. I can't. No, like a dude just straight up asked me, do I like am I fully straight, I guess. It's weird. It's like, yeah, I am. I don't know why you question me on this shit. And then girls, that was I think one example was like she was like criticizing one of my videos, or at least it seemed like a hate comment. So that's why I entertained the conversation because I don't mind haters. I don't mind haters. I don't mind any criticism. And then basically there was a bit of back and forth. And then she finally just admitted, like, oh no, I just basically wanted a reason to say hi to you because I find you interesting. I was like, oh, okay, got it. So it is what it is. Let's see. Do you respond? I just give him a straight answer. Like I'm not interested. So like you know. Or do you ever go out on dates from TikTok? No, I don't. I have a rule. One, I'm engaged, so I'm off the market. But even if I weren't, I have a rule. I don't fuck fans. I don't fuck fans. We that's me too waiting to happen, guys. I don't fuck fans. Plus, it's the power dynamic kind of ruins it for me. Not ruins it for me. It's just like it seems too inappropriate for me if you have this power over them. So no, I can't do that. Yeah, the fiance has a fiance. Yeah. What's the smoothest DM you sent a Muslim girl? I've never sent a smooth DM to a Muslim girl. But what would be a funny DM to send a Muslim girl? I feel like you got to throw in wallahi somewhere in there. He's, oh my God. Yeah. You should do long form content. Dude, I have ideas. It's just like finding the right idea. And they will be, I do long form content. I post them on YouTube, but it's been a few months since, like a couple months, 2.5 months or something since I posted something there. I've been trying to come up with ideas, and I think I have some that like sort of related to the shorts that I've been posting here, and where I can actually make a point, like a lot of the ideas I share here, but some overarching thing, like something I noticed around here is like how like apartment complexes here that are mostly empty have their lights on, and why is that? And that's going to get into the whole like social proof thing, how people don't want to be a part of something that doesn't seem like it's already popping. And so this is like this in-group think that a lot of people have biases for, and this extends to like social media, this extends to jobs and employment and everything like that. Like you notice employers don't want to hire somebody who is unemployed. It's like, okay, why is that? Because because it's almost like a sign that other people don't want you. And why does an apartment complex have all their lights on even though most of them are empty? Because they don't want to appear like people aren't here, because otherwise it's going to be harder to fill those empty spaces. Social media, having a following. Why do people buy followers? Because having a following gives you credibility and lets others think this is something that's worth joining. And so it's like it's everywhere surrounding. And so I was going to make this whole overarching thing. I still have to finish the script for that, and I want to make it a legit YouTube video too. So I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think that'd be interesting. Do you think the ATF is nonsense? Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think it'd be hilarious and also kind of a big fuck you to the man to like subsidize the construction of a plastic injection machine that can create polymer lower receivers. and then just give them away for free at a gun show. I think that would be hilarious. And the best part is, because you're giving them away for free, the commerce clause is not something they can impose on you. So probably I'd have to double check all this stuff, but I think it'd be an interesting idea if you could give away guns for free, essentially. So is this your first? Yeah, it'd be my first. Jessica. But I think that'd be hilarious. It's just like, imagine you go to a gun show and you just like, there's a bin full of lower receivers, polymer lower receivers that you could just grab and just like, and then all the other vendors there are selling all the other pieces. For those of you who don't know, lower receivers are the part of the weapon that's considered the gun. And that's the thing that has the serial number on it. Everything else, like the barrel, the slide, the fucking magazine, the trigger, all that stuff is not tracked by the ATF, at least not in a formal sense, like serial numbers with the lower receiver. The lower receiver is the part that connects all the other pieces. And so it's like, if you can give that part away, then essentially what can they do? I think it'd be interesting. And then it's like, you know how like when you go to like conventions or whatever, they have all this swag. What if there was a swag like that? It's just like, yeah, here's this free lower receiver. Enjoy. And then you can go to any of these vendors and you could literally walk out of here with a completed thing if you want to. I don't know. That'd be cool. And then what is the ATF going to do about it? What can they do? Their power lies within the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. I'm not charging people for this. I'm not selling it. There might be some state lines thing. So maybe you would have to manufacture it in the state that you're selling it in or giving it away in. But I think that'll be interesting. And then what are they going to do? It's just like, oh, this is a problem. I already gave away 1 million of these. You should have told me. Do you remember where you were on 9/11? Yep, I do. I was in 6th grade, home economics class. And I was on the West Coast. So school had just started for me. And we walk into the classroom and this stuff is happening on TV. So the teacher literally just, which is weird now that I think about it. Why would the teacher put this shit on TV and have the class just watch it? But essentially that's what happened. It was home economics where we learn like how to do house things. So like learning how to cook, learning how to sew, stuff like that. So she put the TV on and we were all just watching that and she baked chocolate chip cookies. I remember that. That's what happened. I miss melee sword hand to hand combat. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. I was in math class. Yeah. Do my messages appear twice? No, they don't. Thanks for sharing. No problem. Where were you, user? Where were you? I had chocolate chip cookies on 9/11. 6th grade. Also learned how to sew, learned how to cook and bake in that class. Women learning how to cook, sew, bake. No, it was everybody. It was like anyone in the class it was a split, male and female. Women learning how to cook, sew, bake. I was 2. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So it's wild. It's crazy. I think people who are on the East Coast, or especially if you were in New York when that was happening, it's a more deeper connection you have with it. For me, I was on the other side of the country. And I think I was too young to understand what was going on, at least in a deep way. So, but yeah, it was one of those things. And it cost our country a lot too, not just in the buildings, but in our liberties, because people were naturally emotional after that. And so we get the Patriot Act. We get the Transportation Security Authority, TSA. We get, I think the spying program came out of that too. So one bad day and we live with this stuff for the rest of our lives. The biggest life events I remember were Obama getting elected and then Sandy Hook. I've never been pre 9/11. Yeah, I actually don't remember where I was when Obama got inaugurated. Like, I believed all that bullshit too. Like, yes, we can. Apparently, we can't. Man, what a fucking shame. What a L he was. Not an L. It was just a disappointing presidency, not gonna lie. What was life like pre 9/11? That might seem surprising. Obviously, they had metal detectors, but it wasn't a pain in the ass to go to the airport. It was easy. It was awesome. You could go through security without having a ticket. You could see your loved one off literally at the gate. Like, and it turns out the TSA is bullshit. It really doesn't offer any security. It's all just a relic of like fake security and feelings and stuff. So I also posted a video here about it, but people, and even then, I explained to people in that video where I was talking about TSA is completely useless. It's bullshit. They don't actually do their job, and they don't do it well at all. They don't keep people safe. It adds nothing other than headache and violate our Fourth Amendment rights every time we go to the airport, and make air travel way worse than it needs to be. And yet people in the comments fucking defending TSA. Like, oh, but it keeps them safe. I'm telling you, bro, they get tested on a semi-regular basis, and they miss 90% of security threats during those tests. They're not keeping us safe, guys. And it turns out you can actually catch all the security threats before they even make it to an airport, which is how it's actually caught. But yeah, in the comment section, like Aja, you were saying, like, why would people want to believe lies and defend lies? I don't know, but people want to defend it because it feels better. It feels better. Safety, the feeling of safety is something people will defend, even if it doesn't actually keep them safe, And so, like, that's what I would say. Yeah, I wonder too, what state do you live in? I live in Texas. Man, why did 9/11 have to happen? TSA does have a good Instagram account, though. LOL, they share stupid stuff they find. Okay. Awesome. Is it worth the billions that are going to them? Is it worth the headache and waste of time they are? Yeah. The funny thing is, there was security before TSA. It was private security, ran by the airports themselves and the airlines, which obviously worked out better, at least in terms of like usability. Someone was angry about certain things. AI needs to replace TSA. I don't think AI could replace something that doesn't even work. I guess it could replace it because they're not doing anything. Like, that's the funny thing. It's like TSA is not even offering security. So you could replace TSA with nothing and you would have the same results. In fact, you would have better results because people just wouldn't be inconvenienced with travel to the airport. Like, you would improve customer satisfaction. You would increase air travel, obviously, because there's less of a headache. There's less bullshit to go through. That's a good for Instagram account. Is Houston or Dallas better? I've never been to Houston. I've been to Dallas. Dallas is a big city, but I only spent a month there, so I can't really give it any judgments. I'm in Austin right now, so can't really say. So yeah, TSA, and people will defend the existence of TSA. It's crazy. I like how trains have zero security, though. Isn't that a good example of how all of this is such bullshit? Because trains seem fine. Trains are fine. Didn't have some manic hijack a plane a couple of years ago. So much for TSA. Yeah, I actually know someone who is relatives with someone who tried to hijack a plane and successfully got in the cockpit. It's fucking wild. I can't give details because I know this person well, but when they were explaining to me, I'm like, no way. You have a relative who almost flew a plane because they got in the cockpit. No, it's wild. And it's just like, turns out there's a lot of problems with security at an airport. They had mental issues. That's the thing. The person who attempted this, they were literally manic. And they got to the cockpit. That's wild. So yeah. What am I drinking? Just water. Just water. Oh shit, no way. Yep, I know. It made the news and everything. And they try to dismiss it. That's the funny thing. It's like, wait, so this person almost successfully hijacked a plane? Yeah, and then they just talked it. They played it down. They played it down in the news. And then you realize, oh, our news is here to protect the fucking establishments that don't even fucking serve us. Ah, got it. Now I get it. A lot of the times people here prefer high-speed rail over planes because it's zero headaches. Yeah, I prefer the train if I can do it. Train's low-key goated. Yeah, for sure. Amtrak, not the greatest, but like it's a little longer than a flight. But if you could factor in the time that you have to be at the airport earlier before your flight, waiting through the line, going through all the bullshit, it could probably, depending on the distance, it could make more sense. People with severe mental issues scare me. Like, you never know what they could do. Yeah, uncertainty is always scary, I guess. It's cheap too. Yeah, it is surprisingly cheap. Surprisingly cheap if you can do the train. Elon needs to build that underground tunnel or whatever he said he was planning. I think they built one in Vegas, actually, a tunnel. But it's a lot harder than you'd think to build underground. China has a great railway. Yeah. Your cam went out? No, it didn't. I can still see myself. Does everyone else see me? So, yeah. No, vehicle lobbyists wouldn't allow that. I guess. I don't know if it has anything to do with like vehicles. It's more like, I think the people who would stop something like that would be people who are incentivized, who are responsible for maintaining roads. So whoever those people are, the automakers, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say all automakers are bad. I personally, my favorite is Toyota. I don't own a Toyota, but I just like the way they run their company. They're very conservative, very, very conservative, which is why they're usually slow to things. But when they do come out with something, it's usually robust. And I like that way of doing business, by the way. Like, the American way of doing business is like reckless, where you're just like move fast, break things kind of thing. Or just like, oh, we'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out. Just get some fucking market and sell this shit. And it's just like, all right. And if you end up screwing your customers, that's not going to be a problem. Like, you're promising things that you at this point cannot deliver, but you hope to figure it out. I don't know. This kind of idea of doing business this way has always bothered me, but it seems to work in America somehow. Ever rode a Tesla? No, I've never rode a Tesla. What kind of doctor am I? I'm not a doctor. Did you ask this last week? I feel like you asked last week. Orthopedic surgeon. See, this is why I think I should just do modeling for like doctors' clothing catalogs or something. Or maybe I should find a bunch of retailers. Like, I'll find a stethoscope manufacturer. I'll find a lab coat vendor or manufacturer, and then maybe buy a few products, take a photo shoot. I have a nice camera, might as well. And then send them. And it's like, hey, pay for my likeness. Because people think I look like a doctor for whatever reason. So once you get used to a Tesla, you feel really weird in a normal car. I can see that. The acceleration on an electric motor is kind of insane, isn't it? He seems like such a cool doctor. You legit look like a doctor. Probably your glasses and beard. Probably. Yeah. Do I look like a doctor without the glasses? Do I look like I could prescribe you something? You do look like a doctor, bro. Come on. Maybe I should just do. You know, it would be a hilarious video. See, I come up with these crazy ass ideas that I know would take years to pull off, but it's like I go to med school just to fit my look. You guys, did you hear about that? That kid who left a comment saying like, whichever is the most liked comment, I will do. And it turns out like the most liked comment was like, you will leave home, move to Thailand, learn MMA or Muay Thai or whatever, and then train for years until you become great, and then come back and join the MMA and or the UFC and win every match, blah, blah, blah. It's a hilarious thing. And then apparently the kid's onto it or something. Prescribe me that not me. Opera. That'd be hilarious. If I can find, I'll go to the Goodwill tomorrow, see if I can find a lab coat or something that looks medical, and then just write uh, scripts, right? Scripts. Make a video talking about what you need, lady, is some. Do you smell what the rocket's cooking? Yeah. Oh, I saw that. I think it was on Instagram. Yeah, I think it was on Instagram too. But that's funny. That's funny. You're not going to make it a year to. Why would you? Oh man, I'm not trying to do that to the kid. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's like it's externally motivated, so it's hard to stick with something that doesn't come from inside, from that's self motivated. So I can see him just giving up on it. But on the other hand, man, what a story that would make. Instagram. Oh yeah, and then the ending of that comment, doing all that stuff. The last request was then once you become a UFC champion, then when you're interviewed after the fight where you become a champion, you basically explain all this was motivated by an Instagram comment. And what a dope ass movie script that would be. Oh man, I would watch that movie. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But I'm rooting for the kid because I just think it's a hilarious idea. But maybe he gets fit as part of the process. So that's good for him. Favorite movie? Uh, I guess I don't know if I have a favorite movie. A movie I like watching a lot and rewatching is The Big Short. It's a good modern movie explaining the housing crash. I like financial dramas for some reason. I don't know why. Because I hate finance, at least in practice, in the profession itself. But I am fascinated. No, I like stories where there are characters who see something that everyone else doesn't. I like those contrarian type movies because I think a part of me is like that, where I see things other people don't, or at least other people think isn't happening, but people who see deep. So like movies like Moneyball and stuff like that. Those are, I think, movies I really like. So that's what I would say. Maybe one of those movies. But what's your favorite movie, Manny? Uh, yeah, everyone put your favorite movie in the chat. You'd probably be a good value investor like Warren Buffett. I did own a copy of The Intelligent Investor for a moment, but I mean, like, I don't know if I don't have the passion to look at like financial, like SEC filings, man. Like, I know how to find them. I can find a 10K or a 10Q, but like looking through that stuff and entering it into a spreadsheet and then making predictions on um, valuations of company based on um, discount rate and stuff like that. And it's just like, no, I'm not that kind of guy. Like, although I do find it fascinating to watch. I've not slept for one day straight. Wow. Is it for some reason or you just can't sleep? Have you tried melatonin? It's the second day. It's not looking good. I'm skipping uni, bro. What do you mean? Tomorrow? Because you haven't gotten enough sleep. You should go to sleep right now, man. I appreciate you being here on the stream, or at least play this in the background, and then my voice can help you slumber. People do that. There are some people who do that. That's all they do. Like, ever had any terrifying nightmares that you still remember to this day? No, I don't. It's very rare for me to remember my dreams. Um, and but when I do, I only remember them temporarily until a point where then I just forget them. So I can't say I've ever had any terrifying nightmares, which I don't know if I'd want to. That's kind of crazy. It would be dope to like consciously control lucid dreaming because I feel like I could do some Doctor Strange bullshit where I'm just like learning while I sleep. That'd be kind of cool. But they say like when you're really learning something, when you're really immersed in something and you're really trying to learn it, you end up dreaming about it too. I remember this happening with like when I was learning how to juggle a soccer ball or play soccer basically. And I was practicing every night. I was playing, I was watching all these like YouTube videos of tricks and stuff like that. And got to a point where I was dreaming this shit. And shout out to Messi, the GOAT. I used to be really big into soccer, at least playing it. But yeah, that's how you know when you're really in it. Or like when I get really deep into like whatever problem I'm solving, I start dreaming that stuff. I have dreams about that stuff. I think last night I might have dreamed about some software shit. That's weird. That's weird. Uh, or actually have, or actually have you ever had sleep paralysis? I heard that's really scary. I think I've had a moment of that where it's just like you feel like you can't move. Yeah. Or when I've been high, yo, that shit's weird, bro. Like I, edibles. Yeah. Like yeah, it's trippy. Like I once took too many because a friend gave it to me, right? And they're like, because I was gonna use it because I had a lot of work to do and I wanted to like mellow myself out while I do it. It was an experimentation thing. So I took these edible gummies and I didn't realize how many milligrams that had because it was just a small bag. And I could not do anything, bro. I was paralyzed. I was like, I can't move. You want to move, but then you can't. And it got to the point where I was even worried that I would forget to breathe. It's like I've never been that high before, and I don't want to ever be that high ever again. No, that was bad. So if it's anything like that, sleep paralysis, nah, I'm not a fan of that at all. There's a strategy where you can lucid dream. I think even the government classified it as remote viewing. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. The closest thing I've had to that was taking some edibles and really feeling it. But edibles can be fun in certain contexts, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Uh, yeah. But yeah, no, sleep paralysis. When you feel like you can't move. That is too trippy, man. Too trippy. All right. I don't know if I have any more in me. It's been 2 hours and 36 minutes of streaming. Maybe I'll go till 2:45. So that's like another 9 minutes. So what are some weird hobbies you're into? I'm constantly like learning how to make things. I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about like making wallets and stuff. It's new material I've been experimenting with. And I got into iron-ons. So that's cool. I'm experimenting with logos and stuff. Software too. Right now, I'm messing around with Facebook's music splitting Python library, which basically lets you split a song into vocals, others, drums, and bass line. And basically, you just put the song in, and it spits out all these elements. And I'm building an app for my other page that I'm going to give away for free, so that you can basically create stems of music if you want to hear those separate parts of music separately. If you know some Python, you can easily just use the library yourself, but I understand it's not really accessible for the average person who's into music or even video, because you can also use that to strip out music out of some like footage that you might want to use in your video. And so I'm working on that right now. Obviously, a lot of social media stuff because you see me here, and then gym. I've been spending a lot of time in the gym. Just recently moved into this building that has a really cool. It has a gym with good equipment, so I've been hitting that hard and then going on really long walks. Bro, you do a lot. Yeah, I know. I should probably focus more, but I'm trying to work with Python for data science. Still can't find a job in this piece of shit market. For real? Damn. Yeah, Python. I don't know. Like all my experience has been in JavaScript. I got to figure out how to use this Python library in my JavaScript app. And so that's the next thing I got to learn. Node child process, whatever the fuck that is. Oh, man, data science. It might be interesting if you use some of this stuff, at least if you're interested, to like find data out there and use Python to get some insights out of it and then start posting content related to that. I think that could be a great resume builder if you're into that kind of stuff, if you like it. I have the most useless degrees the world's ever seen. What is it? No. And I'm collecting them like Pokemon. Not gonna lie, I did the whole collecting degrees thing too. So I know what that's like. I ended up getting a double major in mechanical and aerospace engineering with a minor in material science, and then I also got a master's degree in mechanical. That did not help me get a job, but I just like learning, so I did it. LOL, graduating in a bad market, job market is worse. Yeah, I know. The same thing was for me when I graduated. Like there weren't a lot of jobs hiring mechanical engineers. I ended up having to move to the other side of the country for a job. Are you considering that? I know you probably want to stay local, stay where you grew up or in your area, but consider like moving as an option. I'm competing with mid senior level people when applying to jobs. It's ridiculous. Damn. Yeah. I don't know. You think you can help smaller businesses with this, with the stuff that you do? Like, can you take their, especially like with your data science background? I'm sure maybe it's not too much. I don't know. You tell me, but like maybe you can build your own like language models. Apparently, Google offers some compute that you can use. There's a guy on TikTok. I think his account's called builder.io. It's a product that they're building to use Figma that integrates Figma with their own large language models that they're purpose specific large language models that they've built to help turn Figma designs into code. And so he describes his whole strategy is like you can't use these large language models offered by ChatGPT or any of these other services because they are too broad, and so they really suck for your specific application. But what the different approach they took is they made it feature specific for like they feed it their own data that they've collected and build their own like models that they use for their product, and it works much better. It's much cheaper. So maybe, I don't know, crazy idea, but maybe you can offer this kind of service to smaller businesses and be like, look, you have all this data with your customers and stuff. Maybe I can get some insight out of it. Maybe you don't need to use AI for this, but it's like, if you can tell a business like, hey, these customers tend to make more purchases during this time of the year, it would be prudent if you had a sale at this time so you can increase your revenue by whatever percentage, and you can do that with the data that you've collected from them. Then the sales that they make from your data and your advice will pay for your services. And so that's essentially what you're doing when you're a small business, I guess. When you're a business, you are selling people money. You're selling them future money with your service. At least that's the idea, if you're doing it right for small businesses, at least in the meantime. I just moved out of state after I graduated back in May. Okay. MA in history, BA in political science, and I'm doing an MA in philosophy. I want a theology degree too. Damn, you're doing a lot. Man, I wish I could, but I'm not an entrepreneur. I know I'm just a worker. Fair. But sometimes we're put in positions that we just have to figure it out. So yeah, it's a tough one because then you have to generate your own leads. You have to do the customer stuff. You have to learn how to sell. So it's a lot, which maybe it'd be interesting just making some content. I know maybe I'm just pushing people towards content because that's what I do, but it could be good practice where you just get weird data out there. Like, here's the pattern of eggs and stuff like that out here in the world. And here's what people think is happening. And here's what's actually happening. I don't know. But, and then, yeah. Or maybe even apply to other roles that aren't necessarily have that title. So that's also a possibility. Generating leads, I think, is the hardest one. I'm an introvert, so even making friends is tough. Yeah, this is definitely a field where extroverts have a huge advantage. Huge advantage. I found my way of essentially selling is this stuff, social media. Like selling doesn't necessarily have to mean one-on-one, you know? Like I can put a creative together and run an ad, X ad. X ads are really cheap, by the way, right now. So if you wanted to run something, you would have to make the creative, the advertisement itself, which if you don't have any experience would be really hard. But since I've been making these videos, this is essentially how I'm generating leads, I guess. I don't even have a product yet, but I have an idea for a product, but I want to make sure I have leads before I build it. But yeah, so I've just been collecting that stuff. I'm good with people, I would say, but my God, I get so tired when I'm out dealing with people. Yeah, I feel you on that one, man. All your energy's drained for sure. I can see that being the case. Ah, man, social situations are tough. They're tough. And, but it's definitely, yeah, it is what it is. How did you get into content creation space? I started a podcast in 2020 out of the pandemic, and only way to grow a podcast these days is through social media. So I had to figure out social media. That's really it. Prior to the podcast, I did not fuck around with social media at all. I was not online. I don't care to be online personally, unless there's some motive behind it, in which case the motive for this is growing a podcast, building an audience that could be useful, not just for me, but for anyone who wants to come on the podcast. And that's how this started. Now I'm reaching the point where I think I'm actually figuring this shit out. I used to have it was like the first year and a half, I wasn't getting any results at all, but I stuck with it anyways. And it's funny, I'm gonna be able to look back and just be like, yo, like when I first started this social media shit, there's 12 followers on Instagram. Had no other presence anywhere else. First made the Instagram account about 2.5, 3 years ago or something, and it lay dormant for a long time. And then just slowly, just posting every day was the rule. Post every day. Now I can make videos, but before it was just clips of the podcast that I would post on Instagram. And as you can imagine, those didn't do shit. But I just kept posting. And I finally got decent enough that I can tell a story, that I can put together some content, that I can speak into a camera, because camera presence is one of those things you can learn. You can literally just practice and getting used to staring at a lens and being able to string together a few sentences. And still, I would say I'm pretty new at this in terms of like my skill level, but I can get results at least. At least sometimes I can get results. Now the goal is to be more consistent with those results, far more. I mean, yeah, I can get success, and then also moving on to the much longer form. So that's the YouTube stuff. So that's what I'd say. How did you, I think you said it was during COVID, right? Yeah. How did you get the courage to be online, like showing your face and stuff? I realized the audio clips weren't doing shit. So eventually I had to show my face. This started off as a siblings podcast. So it wasn't just me. It was me, my other siblings. Now they've all essentially dropped off and it's just me now, unfortunately. But I was always the one who was pushing it. I'm the one who started it. I was the one who was telling him, this could be bigger. This could be bigger. I remember one of the first episodes, one of the earlier episodes, my older brother and I, we start like lightweight. We were disagreeing about something. It was a polite disagreement. We were joking back and forth. And I was like, you know what, listeners, what do you think? Leave it in the comments below. And then my brother says, shut the fuck up. Nobody's listening to this. And my reply was, not yet, but they will. Not yet, but they will. And I was right. Now they do. Now they do. But, you know, you kind of have to have faith in yourself that you're onto something and stick with it, even if it's crazy. I wouldn't say this is good strategy at all. I'm literally just figuring it out as I go along. So I don't know what the fuck. Now I have some idea, some strategy behind this, but I wouldn't say I'm even close to being really good at this, that I can deliver results consistently. So it was just one of those things that I just had to put myself out there because there was no other option. There's no way to grow without showing my face. What's the one conspiracy theory that you believe is 100% true? By the way, your podcast is on Spotify? Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's everywhere. Table Mom's podcast. It's been a while since we uploaded audio because typically you have to have a guest for that. And I haven't been on top of like scheduling that since I've been spending all my time doing videos and live streaming. But yeah, I mean, I edit the episodes to be timeless. So typically it's very rare that we do topical things, like things that are going on in the world, which was by design. So you should be able to listen to any episode and enjoy it. There are some where it's like COVID and stuff like that, whatever. So they're kind of dated, but generally the episodes are timeless and they're intended to be that way. Conspiracy theory that I believe is 100% true. I don't know. I don't know if I'm that conspiratorial. I do fuck with the conspiracy theorists though, for sure. I mean, an easy one is the J6ers. It wasn't an insurrection. It was just people walking in, whatever. Where I like the new apartment. Where lighting is nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the lighting definitely upgraded for sure. I still got to figure out the arrangement a little better because it doesn't look too good on TikTok right now, but it's what it is. Yeah. You should talk about some conspiracy theories on your. We do actually, man. We do, Manny. There are episodes where, like, someone we brought a friend of ours on the podcast. He talked about how dinosaurs aren't real. How I'm light skinned now. Yeah, I know. We talked about this, right, dude, bro? Oh yeah, and broke 1,000 followers on Instagram today. Just update. Light skin now. Nice to see you here, though. It's the first for you, right, Bill? That's my brother. He's watching on YouTube, I guess. I'll be getting off soon, anyways. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's crazy, bro. It's a video about temperature, dude, that fucking popped up. It's at like 400,000 views. It's wild. It's crazy. Maybe I figured out Instagram. You should talk about conspiracy. We have talked about. So check out that episode. Just search conspiracy, and you'll be able to find the episode specifically related to that. It was a really good episode, by the way. Do you think MLK was unalived by the CIA? I already know. Yeah, probably. I mean, it's very compelling. It's very compelling. Like, he was a sort of. I think he was sympathetic to communism. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took him out for it. Yo, I met a guy who tried to convince me viruses aren't real. I instantly thought of you. Why? You don't think I think viruses are real? Or did he not think COVID was real? He instantly thought of me? Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if MLK was. I think some conspiracies are just overthinking people. The world is actually very simple. I think a lot of conspiracy theories are distractions from the real shit that's going on. And the idea actually isn't the idea of a conspiracy theorist in a conspiracy theory something started by the CIA or some intelligence agency to discredit people who were suspecting government of some really heinous stuff, or at least the intelligence community of some stuff. So, yeah, I think it's the episode with the guest Reed one, RIDWAN. It's a fun episode, but I think all the episodes are good. Well, some of them I was kind of lazy with the edit, but I think most of them, I would say at least 90% of them are entertaining and they're timeless. So you'll be able to enjoy it no matter what episode you drop into. So they're not ordered. They're not chronological. Well, they are chronological, but you can basically listen to anything you want. And then if I see you next week, let me know what you think of it. And then if you want to come on the pod, please, let's talk about data science or whatever you got. Conspiracy theories? Yes, let's do that. And I'm not indoctrinated by uni. That's rare, dude, considering the number of degrees you have and that you're considering getting. It's rare that you're not indoctrinated. Because I know that happens at uni, doesn't it? Trippy conversation to ignore for sure. If you had a chance to, what prison would be like for you for a week? Would you do it? I like the idea of just like being isolated with nothing but books. That sounds cool, and it lets me focus because one of the things in the modern world is like we're full of distractions, everywhere, just constantly grabbing our attention, keeping us from doing the things that we know we should be doing. So if I could use prison to somehow do that, it's not a bad. I remember reading the story of like this guy who made a bet with some other guy about like, look, if you stay in this like confined space for like a year or for like 10 years, I will pay you like some handsome wealth, some stupid amount of money, something super rewarding. And the guy took the bet. And basically he could have whatever he wanted whenever he wanted, but he just had to stay in that confined space. And so he just read a lot of books, a lot of books. And then just before the 10 years was up, the guy comes back ready to meet the guy, and the guy escapes before he completes the 10 years. He has learned so much about the meaning of life and everything. He realized like life isn't about money and whatever. It's crazy. I don't know if I'm retelling the story accurately, but hey, something about that appeals to me, isolation, to just go pursue truth. Something really endearing about that. Didn't the anonymous hacker group say Donald Trump helped pay to kill Jeffrey Epstein? That's a crazy story. I don't know. How long would it take you to find a prison girlfriend? I don't know if I would. When I imagined his question, I imagined isolation. So I don't know. If I had to find one, I don't know. What's the best Table Moments episode? I'm on your channel now. Are you on Spotify? Oh man, I feel like you can't ask me which kid's my favorite, dude. All of them were good. Let's see. Let me see if I can go on Spotify right now and see. Table Moments podcast. Man, there's so many good ones. Hey, Bill, do you have a favorite episode? I can tell Manny over here. Oh, you're on YouTube? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not gonna find those on YouTube. You can watch any of the. You probably have to go to After Moments. Yeah, full episodes. Any of them are good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could go back and re-edit them, but it's basically the vibe of this. I think the audio might be more your vibe because we're more uncensored there on the audio, if you fuck with that. But the After Moments series, if you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you'll be able to see whichever. And that's with like, yeah, I don't know. YouTube has been neglected, not gonna lie, but definitely gonna try. How long would it take you to? Could I count on you, Jordan, to put a weapon in a cake for me and smuggle something in, conjugal visit or something? Would you smuggle something in if I needed you to? That's a good question to ask a girl, guys. Would you smuggle in something for me if I got locked up, if I was down bad and I just needed to protect myself for the upcoming brawl? What'd you smuggle in, and how would you bring it in, and what orifice would you use? Sorry if I asked already. Yeah, the audio version is on Spotify. It's on it's on any podcasting app you choose, whichever you prefer. Just type Table Moments podcast. Yeah, let me see if I can give you a good episode. Table Moments podcast. Oh man. Oh shit. I recently put up a website for the podcast and it ranks. It's the 4th result. That's crazy. That's kind of cool. I just put it up. All right. So it depends on who we have as a guest that take the podcast in a different direction. So like we've had one with a guy, Jarvis, where we talk about religion a lot. Kale is one where we had a male OF model come on the show, and he talks about the whole thing. And that's a weird conversation if you're into that kind of stuff. The one on May 6th this year, I'm on. We talk about AI and stuff like that in that one. So it's like, it really is all over the place like this live is, if you're into that kind of stuff. Yeah, I like Ridwan's or Ibrahim's from New York, or the boxer from the TikTok podcast. Yeah. So a good episode. I should have had these numbered. That'd be cool. But if you type conspiracy, maybe. Wait, Table Moments podcast conspiracy. No, that doesn't work. Never mind. But any one of them. Just look at the topics and see which one you find interesting. Or you can search, because I just put the topics in the description. So if you search for it, I don't know if Spotify search works, but Apple Podcast works really well. So yeah, and then let me know, what you think. It's been a while since we recorded an episode. Might have a guest for next week. Who knows? We'll see. But I definitely got to get back on it. The editing sucks. I got to find a new software to help me edit this stuff, because it's a fucking grind. But yeah. All right. You guys got anything else? Anyone? All right, Jordan. My girl says, I think I'd create a huge callus blister in my foot or something. Wait for the skin to dry and become insensitive. Cut a small opening and smuggle a razor blade in it. I don't know, probably needs adjustment, but it's a start. Okay. It's not a bad idea. You could probably do that. Metal detector might be an issue, but okay. That's cool. That's cool. Or I think an interesting thing, instead of like, because when prisoners, at least, I don't know, I have no experience with this, so I'm just spitting off the top of my head, but like when you think about violence in prisons, it's always like this brutal way of doing it. Why don't the more feminine and more calculated approach is through some indirect means, not something so violent and visual, So like maybe smuggling cyanide, arsenic, I don't know, might be interesting. You'd have to be careful with it, but that might be a way to like handle myself on the yard by doping some tea or something. I don't know, but it is what it is. All right, guys. You guys got anything else? I think I'm gonna call it quits. Metal detectors detect down to the bottom of the feet. What do you want? A pencil, a poison tampon? Yeah, that'd be funny. No, but I think you could use the tampon holder to put something in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if like you put some sort of substance that you dip the tampon in, then you put it back in the holder, let it dry, let the water evaporate. So then I could just reconstitute the water and then use that to. So it's not a bad idea. I know you didn't mean it seriously, but it could be. Do I like neon? Not really. No. The guy seems like a grifter to me. So maybe, I don't know. Should I start doing lives like him? So I just bring all these like OF models who aren't actually into me, but I can always play it for the audience. And then just like, hey guys, I decided to like, I don't know. He just seems so disingenuous to me. So, but I think young kids like it. So, and it's weird to see because he's like needlessly confrontational, It's just like, whatever, dude. I'm not really fucking with the fake attitude. Neon is confused. Yeah, Neon is confused. Thanks for entertaining us, man. I got lucky when I ran across your live a few weeks back. Yeah, man, it's been nice seeing you here. And yeah, let me know what you think of the pod if you want to come on the pod. And yeah, it's been nice having you here. Let me shout out all the people who are in here. Okay, MP33, thank you for watching without having to say anything. I will get some rest. Oh yeah. Oh, you mean Aja? Yeah, Aja. Please get some sleep. Please, you need some sleep. It would be interesting. All right, guys. I'm calling it quits. Thanks for watching. Yeah. See you guys next week. I'll try to do these more. I always promise to do these more frequently, but I never do. So maybe I should just commit. I'm still settling into this place. I think I finally found the final piece to help me bring this whole place together. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone. And here, and then see you later, Bilal. And congratulations to Mercedes for getting second place in the constructors. They did it. They fucking did it. And, Yeah. All right. Everyone have a good night. Everyone have a good night. And I look kind of pro, huh? With this fucking arm here. Yeah, what's up? All right, let's focus. Let's see. Okay. I know it's focusing on that. Cool. All right. See you later, man. Talk to you later. I might have a guest for next week, but who knows? And then yeah, also have a website. Trying to make moves. Whatever. Bye. 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 Peace.